down below. All right, good morning. Welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are in Age of Wonders 4, about to discuss the beginning of this build, but really more as a structure for like how you can build a brew at home that sort of like conforms to the expectations of either auto-resolve only at a higher difficulty level or multiplayer. So when you're building something for that, when you're building a build for that, I think the first error that a lot of people fall into is non-iterative. So I didn't, rather than just like building one version of this, I built like 5-6 different versions of it, ran the first 5, 10, 15 turns, saw what was the build capable of accomplishing, while also being acutely aware of the wild differences in terms of early game starts. Some of the early game starts involved like my support unit dying on the first battle, and then some of the other ones involved us finding like 3 food stashes and having a size 7 capital on turn 5. So like there's a gigantic delta between different starts, even with the same build. So even if you are doing iterative building, then just like try to do your best to be as rational as you can about the results, understanding that different starts are very different. But ultimately, if you're paying attention to your auto-resolves, you will see like the different tools that the AI is using well, the different things that it's accomplishing well, and ultimately whenever it comes to multiplayer, like one of the most important things is of course like how well does your build scale into the mid to late game and what sort of damage tools it has there. But in terms of the early game economic snowballing, you also just have to have good auto-resolves. And so what this means is that like not every build is equally capable of accomplishing this, but I do think that now the new Reavers offer enough that they're absolutely worth testing. I am going to put a little asterisk on this one because we are testing some hot code in regards to our own rule set. We are now going to be testing that only champion rulers can actually make tier 4 weapons in the item forge. I do not remember who it was who mentioned this, but somebody in the Age of Wonders 4 official Discord did say like, why do people even make tier 4 weapons in multiplayer? It seems like they break the game. And they really do. They're incredibly overpowered. They're really important because like all of the other scaling that's going on in regards to low tier units means you really do need to have good heroes. But I think that this is a potentially really interesting fix. We'll see how it actually plays out here. I think, Anthony, just hit me up. Like, if anybody has any questions about like theory crafting a specific build, I'm happy to discuss that as well. Like here, I'm mostly going to use this as sort of like a backdrop in ways that we can discuss like the different levers that we've pulled and why, but we can do the same thing with a different build. It's just that this one is what we're going to be playing today, so I think it's just like an easy one to talk about. So in regards to how to set up something for auto-resolve, of course, like you really do need to have early game strength. Some of the different cultures are just a lot better at accomplishing that. Reavers does have like really high damage potential on their heroes, which is why I'm excited to be testing it with the tier 4 weapons, because they seem like they'll use it the best, but champions are pretty complicated, and so we've had to pull a lot of levers to make this operational here. But like, regardless of what you're doing, just be aware of the power of the early game on your economic growth by allowing your army to just keep conquering things, right? That's just super important to go out there and take fights. And what I discovered while playing with the Reavers is that the damage potential on their heroes is very high, but there's, like always an issue where they have a lot of access to ranged units, and although the mage locks are a lot better, and so I'm actually happy that we're getting an extra mage lock here off of Fabled Hunters, like the overall pattern for Reavers, I do think is largely that you will neglect your ranged units while prioritizing using melee units to support ranged heroes. So it kind of depends, Anthony. Like rushing an item forge for a tier 4 weapon, if there's absolutely no restrictions in place right now, is really, really powerful. Like a tier 4 magelock rifle and a tier 4 pistol and sword and a tier 4 lance, any of those like do a lot of upgrading for your damage potential. Like, but the thing is that you don't even need to get a good tier 4 weapon. Like especially if you're like, you could just test this for yourself in regards to manual combats. It's obviously very different in auto resolve because the auto resolve has no idea how to use this spell. But like, you can just make a tier 4 provoke lance and use like the tentacle spell on it that looked like it was going to be awesome, but the AI doesn't know how to use it. And just like you'll solo entire armies with it in a manual combat where it casts it on the right unit. And so like it's not just about the abilities that you get on the tier 4 weapon, it's just that as the weapon gets higher and higher in rank, you do more and more damage. And the clearing potential in regards to like what this does for you is colossal on two sides, right? You get access to the higher damage, like and allowing you to kill those big single model entities that you need to get down quickly, but also it of course is going to make it a lot easier for you to clear individual models when you're doing creeping, and therefore preventing damage going onto your other dudes. And so it's really great across the board for basically every single kind of fight, whether it's a 4 units versus a resource, or 6 versus ancient wonders, or like 14 versus a giant infestation fight or whatever. It's good basically all along that. The only cost, of course, is that getting to that item forge is a lot more expensive these days, and not depending on like how much you're using your draft spell as like Eldritch Sovereign. Sometimes you just like don't have the cash and mana on hand to build it super early, but you really should be prioritizing it whenever you can. It's a big power spike. But like here with Reavers in particular, you do have to have just like sort of a basic thesis before you even build something, right? Like if you were planning on using ranged pieces and high and or Glade Runners or Zephyr Archers or whatever, then Tome of Evocation would actually not be as useful, right? Because Tome of Evocation doesn't give you an enchantment for your ranged units. The Lightning Blades here is exclusively for melee units, but because I've decided that the direction that I want to test this build is going to be using melee units, ranged heroes, then the math is of course very different. And under those circumstances, something like Lightning Torrent being able to buff up the damage off of the lightning weapon skill for my heroes, which is going to be on the physical ranged attacks even though the enchantment isn't, I think is largely going to play better with our play pattern here. I do also think that like just getting a bunch of Astral early is usually pretty useful for most people, especially for an economy that's going to be kind of sketchy. So like if you're doing iterative learning for these guys, then just like play them out a couple of times, get information on how good your early game auto resolves were, because that's where you can make a lot of adjustments. So here, unfortunately, just to offset the problems with champions early on, because it's effectively like playing without a ruler. You just start with an extra hero and you do feel that power level difference. We've basically thrown all of the breaks up off. Yo. Okay, so we have I mean I'm hearing you, Garacian, but I think I was seeing if Nemki was around, but it doesn't matter. Like right now I'm just talking through the build at the moment, and like more importantly how to build a build.
Oh, are you live?
Yeah, I'm live, but like whenever you guys are ready, just come get me.
Should I leave?
I mean, you can, if you want to sit in the background, Gracie, and you certainly can.
I just it looked like people were in their like groups, So
yeah.
There's my group. Okay.
There's your group. Sure.
All right, I'll go in a different one. Goodbye.
Oh my god. So here, after like testing a couple of different times, I found that Reavers really did need like just a little bit of extra strength in the early game over and over and over again, and so we've basically thrown all of the tools that we can at it to try to make this early game as powerful as possible. In exchange, that means that of course our mid and late game is going to be a little bit worse, but I think that given the current pacing of Age of Wonders 4 and the heavy emphasis on low tier units, that the cost is actually not as big. So you should have a rule: if they don't like auto resolve, they can make manual combat. Hubert, I mean, if you want to, but like I don't think it's good for the game to be, especially like if you're playing competitively. If you want to play cooperative manual combat with your friends, then I think that's actually a lot of fun. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that, Anthony, whenever we get to it. Like I think I'm probably gonna try to remember to unmute them whenever we're having a useful conversation, but when it's like 15 people arguing, they're gonna be on mute. But like I think I think, Hubert, the more that you learn about auto-resolve and the more that you learn about how to treat your auto-resolve right and how to, like, give it the tools that it needs to actually understand how to play the game, that, like, your auto-resolve will start hurting you a lot less, and then you'll have the tools that you need to grow your economy fast enough so that you can get to those fun manual fights against the other people. And I think that you honestly will enjoy the game more playing that way if you have a competitive mindset. Like, if you just want to play Age of Wonders 4 to have fun, you're not hurting anybody, and you should just do that. But like, I think that with the way that the manual AI works right now, it really kind of breaks the game if you allow people who know how to fight against it, because it really just has too many issues. But the Reavers here as ways to make their early game better. I played around with like different options for our ruler's like weapon here. I really did want to be able to bring the Umbral Fiend Slayer bow, but I found that, like, honestly we couldn't support it with the current hero. I feel maybe like a way to fix champions is just give them access to maybe more units or more money at the beginning of the game. There are so many different levers that Triumph can pull in regards to rebalancing the champions that I don't want to tell them how to do it. Like, I think they can do it if they want to, and I hope they do, because like, we really did have to do everything. I think Crobo was responsible here simply for the effect on the early game creeping and ways to, you know, make it so that all of your units don't die very, very early on. But this means that, of course, we're missing out on that mid-game scaling that I would like to have had on the Umbral Slayer bow, because we are going to be playing with the Umbral Abyss here. And of course, that's going to influence the sorts of traits that you are going to be picking up in Age of Wonders 4. I actually think that Umbral Disciples, if you're playing with the Umbral layer, is really good. I would say that this is sort of like what I kind of wish the the Experienced Seafarers is like, because the way that Umbral Disciples influences your healing. So one of the things that's like really crucial in the early game is that if you build an outpost and create friendly territory, you can heal in that territory and therefore, you know, take more fights faster, and then your creeping will speed up. And the unfortunate downside, of course, is that outposts take 2 turns to build until you get Materium 1, but now they don't get a free workshop or work camp, yes, work camp, Walker, that's what it's called. But like, there's still, outposts are still really good. It's just that they're slow, and this is an automatic pseudo outpost on everywhere that's gloom, so you can heal not only you know, inside the abyss, but also on the top strategic layer by just like walking through it. Yeah, there are some cultures that are effectively unusable. Yes, if you want to, and this is sort of like what I'm trying to help people understand in regards to the weaker factions. If you want to make them work, rather than trying to focus primarily on their strengths, the right way to make something that is speculative, that you're not sure about, is to shore up their weaknesses. Shore up the weaknesses first, because you'll get ways to exploit the strengths of your build as you do research. You'll get tons and tons of different tomes, but at the beginning of the game, you need to be really careful about shoring up your early game problems, so that way you can get to those later things that you want to be utilizing. So here, for instance, Herbivore and Elusive, the combination of these 2 traits, it really doesn't do a lot in like super duper late game manual fights between players. But in terms of early game clearing and your ability to like just take fights on the map, Herbivore is like really probably one of the best traits in the game. It just drops off a lot as you get into real fights against real players. But this is sort of like a double speed, fast recuperation, right? This heals you 20 HP per battle at the beginning of the battle on all of your units, and you can take more than 1 fight per turn. So like, this can sometimes heal you 40 HP over 2 different fights on the same unit. So like, this is just incredible in terms of your early game clearing. And Elusive, of course, combines really well with Herbivore, because if you use Herbivore, you will notice that the AI is demonically addicted to using this. Even when it makes no sense, it'll be like, although I could just kill the enemy in front of me, I'm gonna run away and go eat that tree. And Elusive makes the cost of running away and eating that tree a lot lower, but it also is just like generically useful whenever you have more units that are gonna be doing triple attacks rather than power attacks. It's a pretty good defensive scaling trait also, just generically when everyone has 120 HP or whatever. And then tough. So having a conversation between like tough and resistant, I think, is like extremely patch dependent. I am also, I probably should have just included this in my screed yesterday, but like I do think that probably tough and resistant, even in vanilla, should be mutually exclusive, because like if you take them together and you play enough, you'll notice that there really isn't any other trait combination in the game that matters, and then you just have like 1 point to spend on anything else. And it's not that these two traits individually are broken, it's just the combination of them means that the opponent really has no recourse in terms of trying to find and utilize a weakness on you, and the survivability, because it's shoring up the biggest weakness of all units that exists in Age of Wonders 4, you know, their mortality, that you can do this by taking tough and resistant together. You could probably make primal auto only work pretty well. It's pretty hard for those two traits not to work together, but if you restrict them and it's one or the other, I used to think that tough was effectively, and I do still kind of feel this way, that tough is effectively more of an early game tool and resistant is more of a late game tool, or at least a mid game tool. And then like, because physical damage is still like not scaling up, but the physical defense isn't, that it gets more complicated. Yeah, I think you are cheating yourself, Anthony, if you take tough and resistant. I don't think you should do that. But if you want to make your auto resolves a lot easier at home, then that is the way to do it. But it's very, I don't think it's healthy. But like right now, because the game is so much faster, like so much faster. We did play on a fast map last time, but you'll see this yourself if you just pay attention while you're playing. The curve of power has been shifted up enormously because of how much better tier 1 units are now. And so that means the game is just like Zendikar limited, or like Amonkhet limited in terms of speed. Like you just want to kill people and fight early. And in that circumstance, tough is really good, like really good. I was pretty happy with the combination of tough and Mountmasters, but I think that actually tough was the more impressive part of that to me, simply because of how like almost everything is just dealing mostly physical damage in this universe, because they're like all tier 1 and tier 2 units hitting each other with maybe some enchantment support. And so that means that like the early game access here for the survivability is really strong. Some things that like obviously people would probably be naturally inclined to pick up would be like keen-sighted, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to be playing with Reavers, therefore I must play keen-sighted. But again, like that's really not what you need to be looking for in regards to your early game stuff. You want to make sure that you're getting those effects somewhere, but because you can get marked by just hitting things now, as Reavers, which I think is a good design choice. I think that I'm happy to be playing Reavers and testing it here and not 6 weeks ago, because I think they're a lot stronger now. But like, you just really do not need to worry about exploiting your strengths. There are a couple of things that I haven't played yet that I do kind of want to test out for multiplayer, like Empowered by Magic, for instance. This is the best damage trait for heroes in the game, I think. Traditionally, I'm not like a huge fan of damage traits, period, because most of the time the best way to outdamage your opponent is to just have units that are like not dead when their units are dead, and that's usually pretty good, and so survivability is usually really strong. But getting access to strengthened on like a lot of different auto resolves on your heroes is actually great for their damage output. And so like, and of course this one is like not something that the AI needs to understand, right? They just need to like walk into fights. We will probably do a solo run next week, Daedalus. I might even just do like a manual Monday and do like a silly run to see how quickly we can kill a Gold Wonder if we're doing like oops all manuals. We will see. So the AI sort of understands Anthony, but it also kind of doesn't matter if the AI understands it or not, because it like the way that you probably still need to be making your stacks for auto resolve is you want to be mostly using melee units anyway, and so because your stacks are going to be primarily melee units, or maybe some ranged units like overseers who apply marked on their own anyways, that you'll see in auto resolve that there's just like a crap ton of marked marked on the board whenever you fight with the new Reavers. And so it's just a question of like, what ranged piece do you think is the least risky? I have found personally that the least risky ranged piece is a ranged hero. Yeah, even magic damage from physical attacks. Exactly, Anthony. Like, I think that this one, I do need to test it out. I do think that also important to note is that in manual fights between players, the extra strengthened is probably not going to be as big a deal. Depending on whether or not you're playing with Tome of Corruption, it might also be like an actual weakness of the build, but I'm hoping people are probably going to be banning that right now. But of course, like, you're going to be, the player in a player versus player fight are going to be much better at getting strengthened on all of your units, and so the upside here is probably a little bit worse. And so I do expect that this will be largely better for auto resolves as well as manual combats against the AI. But I do think that this is very promising. I really do, because like the scaling on strengthened effects of any kind on your heroes that the AI literally can't fail to use, that's usually very, very good for your auto resolves, as long as you give your heroes good weapons. So here, in terms of like the rest of the development of the build here for our tomes, we're probably going to be going into Tome of Warding next. Like, I know that's kind of boring, but I do think that we need something that clears a debuff. This is an important thing more for multiplayer than it is for auto resolve, but like, if you do not have a spell that gives you access to removing a debuff, even on like one unit, which this is not an AoE debuff clear, but this is a single target debuff clear, and that is and the invulnerability. So this one is actually a very good spell for manual combats. It's just mostly for manual combats, and so like the way that we're going to try to handle it today is that we'll open this tome later, and then we'll research that spell once we feel like we're gearing up to fight people. Let me actually grab my cats from the back porch so I can close the door and turn the AC back on, because it was nice in here, and then I started the stream, and now it's like 82. I'll be right back. Okay, it sounds like actually I'm coming right back, and we are gonna do the game right now. That's what it sounds like. Let's see. Yo. Yeah, like the other option here, Anthony, is I think you actually could use alchemy. Alchemy, I think, is really strong. But I think that there are some pretty limited options. All right, so are we still waiting? We're still waiting on zombie? Yeah. Yeah, we can set it up. So... Oh. Yeah, I think I like Pangea just because it does encourage us to fight, but gives us water, which gives us access to different types of farm. But I imagine most people are not worried about that. Yeah, once you get advanced logistics, water turns into essentially like a super highway. It's crazy how fast it is. Also, just like all units have 48 movement and 3 movement point per water, so you can move 16 tiles with everything. It's really good. I don't think it's broken, because I think it'll enable us to do some fun backdooring if that's the goal. But I think water is really good once you get there. So John J, TLDR review on the new tomes and the new lord type. Tome of Corruption, I do think, is banned. I think that if you think about the game competitively at all, you probably should not play with Tome of Corruption. It's too strong. Tome of Tentacles is definitely pretty promising. Like, the Constrictor is just much better than all of the other tier 2 polearms on all of the cultures. Yeah, they're really, really busted, man. Like, that's what I'm hoping to do here, 4-way, is like, we've nerfed ourselves on this build pretty hardcore by playing with a champion, so I don't think that this is going to be, like, a hyper meta way to do it. I think you'd probably want to play with a Wizard King instead, but I think this will be fun. Because we're gonna be testing, you know, does exclusive access to tier 4 weapons make a difference to champions? I think it will. I think it'll be helpful. I don't think it'll be enough, but I think it will be helpful. Yeah, you do take combat debuffs on water and weird things where, like, everything is a single model entity, and so you have to be careful about, like, how you engage with things. It's very different. Water is not a free combat. Wait, do we have the code anywhere? Oh yeah, the text. All right, GM posted it in there. Fancy boy. Yeah, do it. All right. What are we doing? This is our 20th multiplayer? Oh my god. It's okay. I don't even remember when my parents' anniversary is, so, like, I texted some of my friends who live in the same area to, like, sneak into their house and look on their wall because there's a picture, and they said they would not do that for me, and now I'm gonna have to block them on Facebook. You know I don't. I also texted my brother. Fortunately, he also doesn't remember, so yeah, I think the solution is get good scrub. Yeah, just, like, you can put this stuff into, like, I don't know, maybe a Facebook post somewhere so you can remind it, whatever. Well, there are ways around it. Yeah, they're tools. But while we wait for everyone to come together, just other things that I think are really useful about the gloom trait, the scions of gloom. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it's called. You don't have to read anything. The gloom trait. The gloom trait is good because it gives you access to scaling population knowledge, and because we're going to be playing with Fabled Hunters, which really is, I think, the best economic trait in the game right now, even with the nerf that it's had down to 75% instead of 100, it's really, really powerful and should give us the resources to not only get a good hero, but hopefully a hero from, like, inside the Umbral realm is what I'm looking for. So Veso, yeah, we mostly organize our multiplayer through Winslay's Discord channel. I have a Discord channel, but, like, it's mostly secret, and so if you find it, that's you can hang out there, but it's mostly like a hangout place rather than something else. So all you've played is story mode. Does the AI expand and level as fast as you? No. So the AI is, I think, depending on how you scale it up, it can be a real challenge at very high difficulty levels. Like, I think my win percentage against very hard major advantage barbarians while I'm playing on minor is actually only maybe 50%. Like, those berserkers kill everything so fast, it's crazy. But if you're not playing on just, like, really inappropriate difficulty levels, I think you'll probably find that the AI is not offensively strong, and that once you get used to the good play patterns of the game and identifying what good fights look like for auto resolve, that you'll be able to beat it. Like, just you know, dial in the difficulty to something that you find that is enjoyable. There's lots of different levels of challenge that can produce that. The happening intensity, I think, is probably sort of like playing with a presence trait ruler. Like, I'm happy to do it because I'm a crazy person, but I think it will be like distorting. Yeah, I don't think it's recommendable. It's just insane. Yeah, it would definitely match the brand for this. Yeah, it's just Magelocks. Yeah, Magelock now, the start on Magelock is really, really good. It's still complicated to utilize well in auto-resolves because there's still issues where, like, you really can't bring more than 4 to some of the easiest fights, or you'll dramatically underlevel your hero, especially because of the Overseer still taking some experience points from you. It's a lot less offensive, but it is still taking experience points from you. And so, like, how you leverage and utilize that Magelock is complex, but it's night and day in terms of its auto resolve. It actually works now. It's really good. Yeah, flying Warbeads on turn 10 is just like nuts, absolutely nuts. We're just setting up the things right now, but yeah, like across the board, I think that Reavers have benefited enormously from their upgrade. I don't think that they're competitive with some of the top tier Mystics, because like some of them are just ludicrous. But just overall, I think that whoever worked on the Reavers for this patch should be very proud of their work. Like, this is a much more functional faction now, and even if we don't get good results here, I think it's probably a champion problem and not a Reaver problem, because honest to God, champions are... champions are like on feudal in terms of their power level right now. They're just so bad, and so I'm locking that in here. If we die horribly here, the people who worked on Reavers should not feel bad about it. That's a champion problem only. So my understanding, Anthony, is that it is for the next attack, but I gotta tell you that like I watch my auto resolves, right? Like I don't typically look to get that answer unless it looks like it's something bugged. Yeah, like if you use killing, the next attack with buffed accuracy. So we're doing a lot of weird stuff today, by the way, because Zombie is also going to be playing feudal. I'm playing with this like champion Reaver build. Nemki is going to be playing with us with a much more reasonable faction. Like, maybe, but Hubert, the thing is that there are ways to make Mystics and Reavers have pretty reasonable auto-resolves. Like, Mystics, honest to God, like, if you've never played with Scions of Evil on Mystics, just give it a shot, because the power of just the new spell shield, which is incredible also, is really good for your auto-resolves. Really, really good for your autos. They're arguing now over AI-controlled allies. Yeah, vassals only is fine. Yeah, neutral. I think neutral high champions is the only reasonable application of champions. I think that I think this is going to be a fun test, honestly, because tier 4 weapons really are a big deal. Yeah, you can join. So Vesso, my Discord is, if you just go to my YouTube channel on the community page, I do have a link to it. Like right under, I think, about. Like, I used to put it on all the videos that I did, but I don't I don't pay attention to my Discord channel enough to promote it that actively. Like, I'm definitely there all of the time, but if you like do a search for how often I post on the Age of Wonders 4 Discord versus my own Discord, it's horrifying. Walker should stop posting on the Age of Wonders 4 Discord and make a video. Ludicrous. I had literally 6,000 messages when I was trying to like find whoever gave me the tier 4 weapon. Yeah, it's just, and it's all of the problems with champion are really crazy, because like they're slower in terms of their draft than Eldritch Sovereigns. Their mana is meaningfully more useful than gold early on, and so like that's a point towards the Wizard King. They also like don't really have any abilities beyond just being a regular hero. I have my faction. Yep. Yeah, the thing is, they're so bad because they don't have anything. Like, even if they just started with like a tier 3 instead of their tier 1, or instead of a tier 1, or if they started with like an extra support unit and an extra melee unit or something, I think they would be a lot more functional. It's just that, like, I don't really understand their theming beyond underdog fight back, and they feel that way. But like, their bonuses are really only useful for extremely weird games. High does use them well, I think, just because like the starting on +20 is gigantic for their early game growth. But here mostly what we're getting is the tier 4 weapon, and I do think that that'll be worth it. An extra hero would actually be enormous, Anthony. I don't know if that would be broken or not, but it would be fun. That's sort of like in the vein of like testing incredibly aggressive things like this, the rank rework. Maybe that's worth it. Oh. All right, so here we are with Rocket Cox. I swear to God, I didn't come up with this. This was Triumph's fault. I made this build, and I was going to make this build the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or the Mighty Morphin Power Reavers, and instead it's they gave me Rocket Cox. And so we're playing with Rocket Cox, and that meant that Garacian just kind of like went off the edge here. So this is our Demon-itization stream, or the Demon-itization stream, and we're gonna be playing with Reavers and doing some fun stuff. All right, yeah. Let's go to 2. All right, so we're just setting things up here. All right, good.
Okay.
I thought about staying in there as a spy. Maybe they wouldn't have noticed.
I don't think they would have seen you. So here we're using Umbral exclusively for early game stuff. Like, we desperately need early game development.
It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, this is a little spooky.
Yeah, so all right, how far away are we really? You guys are over there. What map setting were we on? Pangea.
So I mean, some of them could have underground start. It's, you know.
Yeah, that's very possible.
There's a
zombie's an insane
here.
Person. All right.
Ooh,
well,
nice.
it looks like what we should probably be doing is just like sort of exploring towards each other and then bouncing towards the middle.
Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking too.
And
I might send
I think we're
to the southeast, just as a Just
and I think we're still at the point where we're saying, you know, like, people are not going to be trading resources back and forth, so don't worry too much about that.
Did you guys give your wish brainstones out yet?
Oh,
not yet. Not yet.
Should I banner wise? Do I do my full stack on it, or what?
No, the best way to leverage a banner is to slingshot levels on your hero. So
just hero?
No, so the way that you slingshot a level. So where are you? What color are you? You're
I am
white. So
white,
where is your? Oh, that's a banner with no fight.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a banner with no fight. So traditionally what you do with a banner is that if there are units standing on top of it, the units themselves are going to provide experience points to you when you fight them. So if there were just like 16 points standing on top of that, the way you would fight it is you would typically bring, you know, 4 units, including your ruler. When that fight's over, the ruler will gain 1 level, go to level 2, and then it'll walk onto the banner and go up to level 3. So you get 2 levels from the fight instead of 1. Free banners are extremely rare, so I don't think that there's really a point discussing them, but like you can still just walk onto it. But I think that the value of slingshotting it is still probably useful, and it's easier to slingshot with extra units on a free one if there's literally nobody standing there. So that way you would just like take the fights to that northwest first, get a little EXP, and then walk.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured.
I just don't understand what you're talking about with the slingshotting. I'm sorry.
So,
I was listening the whole time and I still don't get what you're saying.
So Garacian, what does a banner do? When you walk onto it, you gain a level. But it's literally when you walk onto it, you gain a level. And if it's a banner that happens to have monsters standing on top of it, the way that the structuring works is that after the fight, you get the experience points for the fight, then you walk onto the banner. And so when you do that, it means that you can actually get if you have like let's say 16 experience points on that banner because there's 4 tier 1 units or whatever, if you fight that fight with 4 units instead of 6, you'll get 1 level up on your ruler because you need 4 experience points to get it. So
I
you
see what
divide
you're saying.
it 4
So you
ways.
want a certain number of units
you
you're
really
fighting the fight.
You want to it's not even just that, it's about like where it is on the board and how you can leverage it, and can you get like extra levels through the fight itself. Free banners are of course really different. I think you can definitely make an argument to just walk onto it, but if you have a banner with a fight, you really should not just be like mindlessly throwing 6 units at it. You should be acutely aware of the power that you get from getting your ruler to level 4. And to like any of your other heroes up to level 6 or 8. There's just like a lot of really big breakpoints on hero levels, and so that's really what you should be trying to prioritize, not do I get like 1 extra level up on this peasant pikeman.
But I love my peasants.
I know you do.
Please.
I know you do. So, Anthony, those are pretty clearable with auto resolves with most builds. Here, of course, we're gonna need to unequip this bow because. Oh no! Wait, unequip the bow. Unequip the bow. Don't.
I really
don't
do wish you
leave
could
that on there.
because there's a free city right here.
I think this fight looks pretty
But
easy.
Flare
like,
Spire.
it's on your side more than my side. I don't know what.
Oh, you're talking about Flame Spire? Yeah, directly north or Flare Spire. Yeah, that's
get
pretty.
To it from this way, it looks
You can't get to it from that way. I would not worry about
Yeah.
it because that's also a free city with no walls. I might just burn it to the ground.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much.
If that was my city, I would call it Flared Base Spire
Good.
Ooh, what's this?
for the demonetization purposes.
Perfect.
I don't know what this is.
All right, so here I think we are going to set
it
this
looks
up
like a-
with
oh, it's a
our
ship,
overseer
never mind.
as part of the fight. I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this, right? Yeah, this is fine, and we will of course leave mana on because we do have access to mana from this fight itself. I'm also really excited to be seeing here on Sun Hill we have access to a Tranquility Pool. That's really good. What's going on? Yes, good. Perfect. Okay, this is good. This is good. We'll just take this fight, and then we'll probably just stick around in the area and try to capture Sun Hill as quickly as we can. One of the most important things I've found in terms of pacing. Ooh, baby, we found this is why we're playing with Gloom, because it's just like really good at getting you to heal. Yeah, so you just click retreat if you started a fight and you're not happy with it. Just click retreat, and then just move the unit out of the way. But you can also just like Sorry, what? Right, the one that initiates cannot uncheck. If for movement purposes you need to start a fight with a scout, sometimes it is actually correct, right? Because that is meaningful. But you want to try to avoid that when you can. All right, so here, because we did get a little bit of the EXP from this, I think we can take this fight with these zealots here with all 5 of our units. Again, traditionally you want to spread them as densely as you can, but because we're not going to be missing out on a level up, and because zealots actually do hit pretty hard in melee, I think the extra unit here is advisable. And I do think that it's going to give us just what we're looking for to spread over here. Because this is a really good opportunity to heal. All right, cool. Yeah, we lost the area anyway, exactly as we planned. Let's see what's deeper up here, I suppose, because we really want to just stick in this area. Oh my God, there's Astral Dew and Tranquility Pool. Oh, well. Oh God. This is all coming up Millhouse here, actually. So we are level 2 now. The level 2 that I've actually found adds the most to us early game for this build is actually Lightning Evocation and then just resetting later. And I think we'll just take Umbral Summoner ominously right now. Because I do think that the potential summon, it's not great at using this, but because we have a Crowmaster and the Tyrant retinue, we have more opportunity. This is some T4 champion cooking. Yes, that is exactly what we're doing here. Let's see. So we're going to go Quarry, and we're going to go into Blacksmith actually next. And we're just going to look to find anything with food somewhere out here. Let's see. Yeah, those guys are okay. Grace, yeah, Garacian's always on open mic. Oh no. Perfect. Oh my god. Perfect. Yeah. Yep. And I do actually like the fact that this is going to be a tier 2 for us, so I think this is all good. You're talking to buy. Yes, anytime. Oh no. No, you're talking to each other. That's important. How is your... Everyone is chat. I am chat. There's really only one chat. It's Twitch Plays Pokemon. So how's everybody's early game going so far? Don't be afraid. Yeah, you're not done. I would take that fight, honestly, with the Marauder Guard. You can just send your Dawn Defender at that guy. Break your Dawn Defender off. You don't have enough movement points. No, you're wrong way. Nope. The Wild Speaker to your east. Are you not playing white? Yeah, you're playing white. No, you're playing white. You're playing Lincoln McFlap. Right? Oh, 2 Spearhawks? Is it standing on top of an iron deposit? Oh no. This is a desync problem. Alright. That's not good. Yes. I suppose it is. I think it is. I think that is the name here. Oh no. We have 1. Good. Yeah. All right, so good. We have a second quarry here. I think their goal is just to like crank out this blacksmith as quickly as we can, and then we will like move into Town Hall 2. Probably we'll end up picking up Library along the way, but we want to get Town Hall 2 and Wizard Tower and Item Forge on as quickly as we can while not compromising on our early game clearing, and that's what we're trying to do here. It would be a lot better if we had like a tier 2 weapon rather than just a magical weapon, but like this being a lot of frost is gonna do crazy amounts of damage here. Yeah, that's a Silver Wonder that's like southwest of your Brigand camp. Yeah, it's a Silver Wonder that's like traditionally a lot easier to clear if you have any access to spirit damage, so it'll be a little easier for you as high. But that, like, directly northwest of your ruler is another Silver Wonder, and depending on which one it is, that one might be clearable for free. I don't remember the names of any of them, but that is the shape of them, and I do remember that Eternal Bedchambers is free, so if that one is that one, then you can see it. Garacian, have you watched that video? Do you remember them? The free ones? I literally have watched that video like 3 times and I just can't remember any of them. Winsley made it, yeah. Yeah. Wait, way in the northwest corner? Like of the entire world? Okay, so if... Yeah, you can see some really crazy stuff scouting around in the fog, honestly. How much exactly you want to scout the fog is kind of up to you and what, like, right now... Right now I'm not doing anything else with my turn, so I'm happy to be scouting it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. If you see 2 farms next to each other, that is almost always a free city. In fact, in multiplayer, I would guarantee you it is. Yeah, that's definitely a big free city then. If they're all clumped together, that might even be a tier 3 or a tier 4, which might be another opportunity for you to just conquer a giant free city and start using high tier units immediately, right? Yeah, then it'll be their free city that they're picking up. That's scary. So which direction? Oh, okay. Ban MK for life. Slow play. In this group? In this slow play? In this group? Alright, so here, I think we can afford to take this fight with everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to move here, because we're going to need to be in that range anyway. And then I'm just going to use the scout actually to activate this fight, because I don't really care about this this lost growth here. Yep, that's good. And yeah, your cities are going to grow crazy fast. So let's see. I think this is good, actually. So no one's really tried summoning in teams yet, but that could be something that we do like in the near to immediate future, depending on how people feel about. Oh wait, we added a level up, so we can add lightning strike as a wand, I guess, and then maybe lightning weapons. Not like a huge fan of lightning weapons with a staff, but I'll take this. Yep, take this. I think this is good. Oh no, out of sync! The prophecy is fulfilled. I'm not even hosting. Yeah, it's a lot more stable now, but it's still not where it needs to be. What the? Yeah, oh my god, all my units just got flung around and I lost 2 battles. Like... Okay, all right. I think we need to go jump to the other voice chat. Yeah, we probably need to revert. Okay, so I think, yeah, yep, everything broke. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. This, yeah. I saw the possibility coming, because, like, I saw a fight that didn't disappear on Nemke's side, but it was just one fight. But yeah, that probably should have been a sign. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, it's the horrible future. I mean, we could, but it's better to just, yeah, new game. It's more stable. Okay. Yeah, I can host. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. When it desyncs, it tends to break entirely sometimes. So wait, Zombie, are you hosting or do you want me to? You're hosting? All right. No, that's fine. As long as you get it up. Yeah. Yeah. he's gonna get like 5 Pantheon points. Yeah, 6 players. Yeah. If you go back into that game, you might get trapped in it, like an isekai. Oh! Yeah, lightning weapons don't do anything with the staff there. The lightning weapons is more like I was hoping ultimately that we'd find like literally any other weapon, because like I think that generically stabs are like the most dangerous sort of weapon to be specializing in on your ruler early on. It doesn't stack with itself, but it looks like it stacks additively with other fumble chances. Okay, so yeah, that means if you can do something to get up to like 80% fumble chance, that's really strong actually, but you do need a lot of it. Yeah. Just do that like 15 times. Yeah. Okay, so we will run the same thing back, see how it goes. Oh my god. Like I gotta level with you. I don't think we're gonna be picking up this game on turn 47 with Yukio from not even the Eldritch Realms patch, right? This game's done. Just go to settings and then abandon session. Like click on the session in question, go to settings and then click abandon session and you're done. Yeah. All right. All right. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can outspeed Zombie here on this, because I think we can get this thing done right here. Let's do teams off, and we'll do never and owner, and we'll do always auto. All right, I got it hosted. Host private. Yeah. I just hosted it, but that doesn't mean I take responsibility for any of these buttons. That's your problem. Yeah, I just posted it in just like the open multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, fumbles taking priority actually is, I think, a really big deal whenever you have access to enough fumble stacking. And so the question that I always have in regards to Ceaseless Cacophony is, like, is the AI going to be able to utilize misfortune effects well enough that it actually was going to perform for folks? Which I do think we're just going to have to, like, test in practice and see how it really works. So Nemki, we're team 1 now. Yeah. Yeah, the question is how does the AI actually like combine them and use it well? So yeah, Anthony, it'll check first. First it'll check for fumble, then it will check for crit. If it checks for fumble first, then it won't check for crit at all. So if that's why if you have Visions of Woe, you can't just like immediately overwrite it with a critical. It used to be in the other way, but like now. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, if people want, like, specific colors, then, you know, we can just argue about it. Yeah. Alright, has everybody's looked over everything? Are we doing... Okay. So... Yes, that's really important. Yeah, it's not a D100 chance. It's sequential D100s. So it'll check for fumbles, then it'll check for crits. We can. I don't really care either way. Like, I think that regenerating is just, like, more total stuff to manage. So I don't feel like we need it. What? Yeah, that's what multiplayer AI takeover off. Yes. It says that. Is it already desynced? Because it's literally desynced on the hosting page? Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Let's see here. Yeah, I think all the rest of these settings are correct. As long as zombie sees everything here, then we should be all right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Everybody ready to go? Good luck, have fun. Oh my god, wait a second. Yeah, if we have to rehost this again, I do apologize. We should have checked to see if the random bug was still working. I should have waited for that. If the random bug occurs, please let me know. Yeah. Let's go to the other channel. As long as everybody is everybody okay though? Everyone has their ruler. We have an aspect. It looks like we are good to go. All right. I mean, I don't have to be sorry for game problems, but I do have to be sorry for my handling of them. Like, I'm aware of that bug and am just impatient. That's not the game theory optimal way to manage that. What? They're all underground. No, they're all in that other corner, right? So are we ready to break? Yeah, get out of here. Okay, so Garacian, you are in a really weird spot, just like locationally, because you're gonna have to like move past some of us. But as long as you're okay exploring the Umbral Abyss as like a way to move around, then you're not as stuck as you look. Not with. Well, like, we kind of can't afford... One of the problems that I think we experienced on the last map was that Zombie was, like, literally in the very, very middle, and so, like, he just got into fights with everybody, like, immediately, because we couldn't really support him. I think they're northeast. So, like, we're sort of in the southwest corner. I think that they're somewhere in the northeast-ish. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, Scions, I think, so Runesmiths, I think, is higher payout, but it's also, like, higher variance, because you can just roll an Arcane Guard, and that's way worse. And so it's just a question of, like, how do you balance your risk? I think overall, I think that you could make a good argument for either, or even both. I think that there is an unsung interaction there for Mystics that gives them access to really good early game clearing. So, alright, so we can take an Inferno Hound here, actually. I actually don't hate this, because this is a good tier 2 for running around and clearing, but I don't think it's worth the mana upkeep is the biggest problem with it, so we are going to dismiss that. So yes, Mary, they did. Now Underground, now they've made it so that only, the only thing they check for is how many players are in the game, which I think is a much, much healthier place for the game to be in. So let's see. I think we can take this fight with us. A vampire. So you have you said it's a vampire spider hatchling. I think a vampire spider hatchling is one where, like, if you can keep that alive and evolve it, it's really good. But it's still like basically any other thing where you can plug it in for a tier 1 that dies early on if you need to. And it's approximately replacement level. Hopefully we don't lose that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Both of those are in the space where, like, you should not feel badly at all about bringing them with you, but you also don't have to. It just depends on how many other units you lose early on. Some of them are faster, which is, like, a really big important thing. If they have like floating movement, then they're just a generically much stronger scout than the other ones. And so it really does depend on like what your economic requirements are, including what your military requirements are. So here, like I said, I do really just generically like Lightning Evoker here on these guys at the very beginning, just to maximize our ability to clear stuff. Oh shoot, we actually need a pure quarry start, honestly. I just grabbed this for the tiles for healing. I think, let's see, actually, we should still get enough food to grab this and then flip. So we'll grab that as a farm and then flip into a quarry and then pick up a second quarry somewhere. Like there. Yeah, that's fine. Go with probably Lesser Storm Spirit. I've gotten around my own weakness of the Whispering Stone by just playing as Reavers. Now I don't even have one. Yeah, you just don't even you don't even get a Whispering Stone when you're playing as Reavers, so you can't forget it. I think the rest of this is good. Yeah, you're a brave monster here, Garacian. I'm assuming it's gonna be okay with this godsend. I think I have a Garacian on muted, then, which means that I'm gonna have a lot more fun than you guys probably will. But it probably is necessary to maintain monetization on this, honestly. Yeah, that's okay though. That's part of the risk. Like, if you lose just like a random tier 1 shield, great. Like, it's much worse for your military and for the survivability of your other units if your heroes don't get to their signature skills. So that's sort of like, I'm going to pretend you're trying to treat your units right now, but by doing that, you're gonna make sure that they get stuck in perpetual peasant serfdom forever. You have to build to make them feel good. That's okay. Yeah. Those evolutionary summons that you found are like generically a lot stronger than a Dusk Hunter outside of manual combats. So that's a great trade. Ooh. Alright, so there's Emberton right there, actually. That's really strong. Are you talking about Emberton? Yeah, if you want to go ahead and conquer that, if you think you can, it's right next to my city, but I don't care. We're on a team. If your military is there, then just take it. Like, you probably want to take the... I mean, if you're not taking it, then I will. One of us should, like, in the very near future, and I don't really care which one of us it is, but one of us should definitely do it. Yeah. Yeah, Zombie's feudal. Zombie said he was playing feudal. He's playing what? What? What is he doing? Here we're just gonna go ahead and take this fight with 4. We could potentially bring the Harrier in, but I don't think it matters if we lose something here, and yeah, we don't. Good. I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, you go back here, just hang out. Does anyone... Oh yes, we do have enough movement points to get to both of these fights. Good. Yes. Yes. Give me mana. I definitely, we're going to be pretty hungry for mana. A lot of it is, of course, going to be coming from the board, thanks to that access to mana from Fabled Hunters. Oh, and there's another potentially free fight. Ooh. That's definitely one. right? Right? Okay, well, actually, we don't even need to take that as a farm anymore because we just raw built the workshop. Not what we should have done. We should have picked that up as a farm, but we're gonna miss out on like 10 production. Not a big deal. So we did. Oh, you could have told me, Garacian. I think I'm on pink right now, but I didn't need to be. I just didn't pay attention to like what colors I was taking. I normally everything is blank text. It's just this one. Okay, so we'll take, I think actually here, just another merc. They're really expensive, so we can't make like 14,000 of them the same way that we can with some builds, but I think this will be okay. And then you build this as an outpost to grab that as a work camp. Is that even worth it? I don't think that's worth it. I think I'd rather just take this as a straight outpost. Or even just this is a city, honestly, with a Lost Queen's Crypt nearby. That looks good. Yeah, that actually looks like the best thing to do here. Yeah, I like it. You're not my real dad. You can't talk to me like that. Wait, does your real dad talk to you like that? You, Garacian, receive the tentacles. I know they are. Okay, Garacian, Shrieker's Tomb, is that a clearable one? Like, I know this is the art that like drives me crazy, is that like I know that the Lost Queen's Crypt and the Eternal Bed Chambers are both free clears, right? But this is the same shape as that, and there are other ones. It's not free. No. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, that one is doable. That one is doable. Right. So you can't even just like look at it on the board. You have to actually remember the names of them, which requires, you know, like reading comprehension and English language skills. Yeah. Whoops. You know, this is where athletics would be really great, Walker, because then we could actually get this outpost going this turn, but instead we're gonna have to like wander around here in the darkness for a couple of turns. But I do think it's worth it, because if we can get Lost Queen's Crypt, like this is just a ludicrous amount of equipment that we got. Oh good, what'd you get? Yeah, that's really good. You will, of course, need to pay 100 Imperium in order to get into the water, and so, like, it's not 100% free, but, like, the Galleon is a fight, but there's a lot of stuff in there, yeah. It's just a question of, like, is that worth 100 Imperium versus getting your second city early? And I think it is. I think it's genuinely dependent on what's going on. I think most of the time you want to get your second city pretty soon, and hopefully your third as well. But then fourth is more complicated because of the extra Imperium cost. Yeah, I see. Triple Stormscale Serpent I would not fight unless you have access to Storm. Like, there with 4, that's not worth it. I think because those are all single model entities is the biggest problem, and so their damage does not reduce. They are really good at killing stuff if you don't have frost damage to fight them back with. Yeah. If you had a Blizzard or a Frost Blades, I think you could take that. Okay, Yeah, this is, I think, a fine fight here. Double Chaplain, double Zealot, I think is not going to really pressure us, even if we don't have access to healing, because in this fight, of course, we do still have the stronger hero by the fact that we're going to bring 2 extra units into this fight off of our Tyrants and everything. Yep, there it is. Grabbed that, and now it's just, I think, bounce here, and then come back. So these guys, I think, just go home. Are you going to become a pirate now? That's your origin story, is that you lost a unit in an auto resolve, so you became a pirate. All right. Well, we're absolutely going to take Dark Ritual here. I do like the power of mass rejuvenation to keeping our units alive, but I think overall, yeah. So I'm not really surprised about that, Professor Pone. In fact, if you watch one of my earlier videos, that is what I actually posited in regards to those things. Like, I think I underestimated the value on potential being able to lock stuff, but like a lot of people were falling over backwards to talk about how crazy summoning was, and I was like, this looks good for Phantasm Warriors, and it is good for Phantasm Warriors. But it's mostly good for Phantasm Warriors. I think if it cost 2 per EXP, it would be less bad. But like, people were just getting excited about the ability to like keep those evolutionary units around, and it's just, especially if you're playing with auto resolves, the AI still just likes to get stuff dead. Ooh. Wait, who is this? Who is this? Is this? That's Windslayer. That's Windslayer. He definitely saw my my scout. It's actually interesting. Where? Yeah. Well, it's actually it's pronounced $ha. $ha. All right, so the Pirates is a faction, but it's a really stupid combo. Yeah, I don't think it's particularly surprising that Pyromancy is still kind of in a complex spot, because although I do think it is stronger, I think there is still just like too many problems in regards to dots not being competitive, and the gigantic amount of HP that everybody got didn't really fix that problem. It kind of made it worse. So here, we're going to use this as our extra city, and we want to do that as quickly as we can. So I think we're actually going to have to sacrifice a population here just to get this one locked in. Because Nemesia the Hopeful is going to give us like 20 levels of equipment, and that's worth 1 population. And now there's actually down here. So wait, you're still in that area? You legit might want to just work on that brigand camp and then take Emberton right now if you can, Nemki, because I was going to go in that direction, and then I started exploring in another one, and I found my own, like, resources in this direction. So, like, if it takes me 5 turns to walk there and it takes you 2, then it's probably net better for you. Yeah, alright, we'll send you over here. We'll send you guys down here to check this out. Yeah, you can flat them flat evolve them right away. It's just that, like, I've done that and then brought them into, like, you know, a Bronze Ancient Wonder, and then the tier 3 just dies anyway, because that's just, like, the way auto resolve is. And so, like, mostly auto resolve really doesn't pay you off for doing those sort of, like, extremely flashy, high variance things. Oh man, I should have moved this Harrier into here to heal. Well, we'll do that next turn. But like, really, the things that are mostly powerful in the game are the things that are reliable rather than the things that are just high variance. Yeah, it's all you need to do. It's just a little peek. Costs you 6 movement points and you see everything. I'm really close to Windslayer. this is a medium map, but it looks like what my guess is that they are in the northeast, and that Winslea is just like close-ish to the middle, and you'll see where my capital is. I'm also close-ish to the middle. I think we both just spawned middle. Winslea is like directly northeast of me, like literally on my screen right now. He's walking towards Ashwall. Yeah, if he autos into Ashwall with what he has, he'll die. Like especially because there's probably another stack nearby, because it's no walls, and no walls is just the most dangerous thing. The most dangerous game. Hunting a wall. All right, I'm gonna mute Garacian so we can share a funny story
party,
here.
I'm the GM, and
Oh,
they fought
we're
some
gonna go ahead
bandits
and
on the road.
pick
And
up
they killed
another
all of them
mercenary
except for the
for
bandit
sure.
leader who fled. And so then they started chasing him, but they're slower than him. Like his athletics is higher, so he's just like doing a better job of like keeping away from them. But they have a familiar who can fly and is invisible and very fast. So they're just keeping tabs on him with that familiar while they just follow him at a distance for hours. And so I commented that they are persistence hunting a man through the forest.
Yes, good.
And they didn't seem to care too much, but yeah. The other thing they did is they used a ballista on the road to like attack people, and so the party wanted to dismantle the ballista and put it on a floating disc spell and then carry it with them, and then when they finally find the bandit, they wanted to reassemble the ballista and shoot him with it. And I was like, you guys are crazy. You can't.
Perfect.
You don't persistence hunt a man through the forest.
I mean, are they evil inclined? Because I think then maybe they do.
No,
Oh.
they're not. They just
Oh.
do whatever they're always just chaos aligned, in my opinion. They just do whatever they want in the
So,
moment.
Professor Brown, this
I
is
think they would
3v3.
disagree with that, but
So
that's what
it's
I
gonna
think
it's
they
me,
are.
Garacian, and
I'm
Nimki
jealous
versus
that
Winslea,
I've
Zombie,
never actually
and Gian.
Ooh, do we like
And
it?
we're playing with
Jealous.
like some pretty experimental
You think
builds
so?
this
Seem like
time
a
because I do think that like
huge flipping
the
dork.
balance in
who
this
would like it.
patch is pretty
I mean,
weird, and so experimental builds I think are more
Honestly,
fun.
I always like we watch
but yeah,
and stuff like
so
that, right? But
there are some
my wife
issues
and I
with
have
unit
always kind of
rosters
been
with
like,
auto resolves,
I
but there are
wonder if we
definitely
would
some
like
faction
it.
mechanics
I
to,
feel like I don't know if I
make
could,
things
like-
work. It'll be
I don't know. My only
yeah,
experience is Skirl though, right?
check
So
my-
like,
mute my guys. So, okay, Onkwonk Jones. So you just see the unit roster has some serious problems, especially with auto resolve. Are you talking about like for Reavers? Because Reavers now actually are entirely different. That's why we're experimenting with them. So one of the really big upgrades for Reavers is that now focused aggression is melee attacks give a 60% chance of inflicting marked. And so this means that now, in terms of good gameplay for your Reavers, I actually think that the best way to do it is to use ranged heroes and melee units. And that works really well for auto-resolve. It works really well for manual combats. I don't think it's competitive with stuff like, you know, barbarians and the like, just because that they are they are wildly overpowered. Of course, we're gonna end up just raw building everything in the city. Oh my god, I cannot believe how much stuff we're raw building. So I guess we're gonna have to take a storehouse because we're just not finding the food here. And we did sacrifice one to this. Yeah, once you like learn how to scout, it's tedious, right? It's time consuming, but you are really doing like time manipulation because you're a lot stronger now, right? Like you're probably going to be able to finish some of your games 20, 30, 40 turns earlier if you do successful scouting, if you know what you're doing. And so oh, no, you're good. Yeah. I think you can definitely take that fight, but you're level 2. What I can do, Nemki, is I do have this mercenary in the area that I'm really not using anything. I'm not using this at all. It's just a dead unit. And so I'm happy to just leave this here to help support your attack. You'll want to bring at least one siege project to this because you're looking at a stack of evoker, pikeman, and archer I think just bringing a harassed defender is more than enough, because it's 60 gold and will kill like half of their units, and then they won't do nearly as much in auto resolve. Yeah, that should be more than enough. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and work on another summon Lesser Storm Spirit. The harassed defenders. Just so Undermine Walls is really strong if you're trying to besiege something that has a lot of powerful ranged units inside, because of its impact on the auto-resolve AI. If you use Undermine Walls, the AI inside the city will go insane, and on the auto-resolve, they'll all just like charge at you as if it's a field battle. Whereas if you don't use it, they will stand behind their walls and shoot at you. But you kind of need to see, like, especially if you see double heroes with ranged weapons, that's where I really like taking Undermine Walls. Against units with multiple models who are very weak and glassy, that's where siege projects like Harassed Defenders are really good. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead and just take this stuff out. I don't really care if we keep this Harrier alive, but given that everyone is at full HP, the healing is going to be going on to anyway. Yeah, it'll count mine because we're allies. I'm actually gonna go check in on this monster den. Good. All right, so this monster den is weak enough that I think actually we can take it like this. This is a dangerous option here because, of course, like, everyone's relatively low movement, so there is a non-zero chance that our Mage Lock gets overrun, but because there's only 3 units there, I think it would be, yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting in terms of outcomes. So we can also, as I mentioned, use this cute little space to heal in. So you'll see here everyone's healing currently 5. We can just go ahead and just move on to this with our 2 friends, and now they're going to be healing meaningfully more. It's sort of like fast recuperation, but better because it'll let us explore in here way more efficiently. Debating whether or not I want this to be a 3rd city here or maybe here. It's not particularly efficient, but this one's pretty far away. Keep your stone in your capital. Keep your stone. You're high. When you're high, like, your stone in your capital is incredibly valuable. All right, we're definitely gonna take a quarry there for extra food pop growth, and then we'll go 2 turns in a storehouse, and then we can pick up the steel hall afterwards, and then we can work on our really good stuff, the item forge. Yeah. It's okay. On the one hand, I'm so happy that I have everybody else muted here, because I honestly, it would be demonetized. But on the other hand, I do feel like I've compromised my artistic integrity by not sharing Garacian's insanity with you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just pull out what we can and put everything together. I would say no, because it really is game breaking, but we can talk about that at, like, you know, between sessions. Yeah, if people want to do that too, we can do that too. I don't think we've really discussed it at length yet for this patch, because this patch I think is pretty different and has some weird stuff going on. If it's just the scrolls, then yes, those are not guarded. So now we could take this fight with just 4, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and take this with 5. Doesn't really set us too far back, and I think keeping this Harrier alive if we can is really good. Maybe even just do 6, honestly. This is just safer. Because we want to have the resources necessary to explore the Umbra layer in very short order here. We don't want to be too far behind, given that we have the resources to do it. We want to try to use that. So anything that we can to keep our military surviving, growing, and able to explore the Umbra layer is worth it. Yeah. Yeah. You mean, should you spend a lot of Imperium just to get a couple of extra pops for research? Oh, yes. Yeah, that is very powerful, but it's complicated because of also the value of draft early. I think here I am going to take a library before we take Town Hall 2. I think there's any reason to delay library if you can pick it up. This free city fight, you might lose some stuff, but the stronger your 6 stack is to go into that, because I think a 6 will be fine, the less you will lose. And then yeah, and then your next priority should definitely be sweep north and take that brigand camp, because you get a lot of scaling off of fighting infestations. It's really good. They're the best buildings in the game. Yeah. Yeah, probably, but you got time. But I'm gonna take at least one more Lesser Storm Spirit. Obviously, we're not gonna have like 14 of them in this, because like that's it's a little different to have like 14 units that die in the gloom when you're trying to use gloom tech. But I really want to just find a that's banned. I want to find a regular we're saying is unbanned currently. So now captured, they give you XP, it's like 30% or something like that. I don't actually know, okay, and that's like kind of why we're experimenting with this, because I think that there are actually a lot of things that are promising about Reavers right now, and then similarly some things that are like complex and difficult to expect to be powerful, right? Like, although the mage locks are a lot better, the auto-resolve AI just deserves, it needs accuracy bonuses for ranged units to really work. So, yeah. This is definitely PG-13. This is Let's see here. Where are we going in here? I want to find a like an umbral city to interact with. That is really important. Okay, let's actually look around to see if we have any other umbral gates here. That's either a good sign or a bad sign. Yeah, it could. Well, he's not inside a battle, right? Because we don't have those like long manuals. I think he's probably either preparing for a big fight or like I think he might be trying to get Ashwall. Like, if there isn't another stack on that gold vein, which it looks like there isn't, then Ashwall is a lot safer, right? The big danger when you're fighting a free city without walls is if there's a resource node nearby that will reinforce, and that makes fights get a lot harder when they don't have walls. But I think he's trying to conquer Ashwall. This outpost looks like Afghanistan right here. This is crazy. And then if this were just like shifted down a little bit, this would be Pakistan too. What is he doing? We do desperately need to find an umbral thing to interact with, though. Unfortunately, that is the case. I think dark autos kind of, I think, rely a lot on herbivores. Feudal is probably worse than a piece of string in a paperclip. Like, Feudal has really miserable auto-resolves. It's all about what you get back from it. Like, production blocked for bonus. Yeah, you don't need to do that unless you're planning on hiring their heroes. If you're planning on hiring their heroes, then that's actually really good, but I'm hoping I can find an Umbral Infestation to hire off of. Yeah. Yeah, 6 allegiance is not tons. If you're not planning on hiring their heroes, then you can just ignore that. God. I guess we are just gonna fight here. Like, I think we have enough dudes in the area. As long as we can get like another merc over here, then I think we can clean out this layer pretty quickly here. Also have lightning torrent to work on that. Yeah, sight's really good. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, sell your souls. That is like necromancy. It's still you still do not want skeletons, so I do apologize for like that, but because souls translate into thralls, necromancy is actually good. So yeah, like here, the first thing you got to remember is that it's not actually taking into account harassed defenders. That math is not being accounted for because that combat doesn't change until the start of a fight. If you're super worried about it because there is a source of mana directly north of this fight, then you can justify using a blizzard. But I think given the units that you have, it's not just a raw numbers thing, right? It's also what units do you have, what do they have, and how are the pieces that you're currently bringing going to affect your combat. This would be like a no-brainer if your ruler were level 4, but I don't think that this is going to be complicated for you. If you lose a Dawn Defender in a fight for a free city, that's a great deal. Oh, sell, yeah, yes, Professor, as soon as we find one of them, we are going to sell our souls to the Umbral Demons. Like, absolutely, that's our goal. We just have to find one of those buggers down here. That's what I'm looking for. Whatever, we're just going to send everybody into the Umbral Abyss. Let's see. Sounds like he's doing it. He's going for Emberton. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a great deal. You lost the least useful Dawn Defender and a Snow Spirit. That was a great deal. It really depends. Yeah, for high, the only thing that matters is your alignment. Just make sure your alignment's neutral. No, you want to be neutral the entire game. Yeah, it's because there's just like extremely limited options to gain good in the game. Oh my god. Look at where Winslaya's capital is and where my capital is. I just found his cap. He's literally like 5 turns away from my capital. Yeah, well, it's 8 right star. 8 right star. Which one? The Defender double dark warriors will have options to do damage output pretty high, but like so what do you have on your ruler right now? You just have the draft ritual, and you have a Relic of Havoc, and a helmet, and an orb. Oh, would you choose? Oh, you chose Restore first. Yeah, Restore is rough for auto resolves early. I think you want I think your description of I'm gonna reset is probably what you want to do. But I think if you get that extra Dawn Defender into range next turn, you won't have any issues in that fight. Yeah. Yeah, that will just disappear. No. You don't need to worry about that one. You need to desperately try to figure out if there's ways for you to kill those before the cities disappear, because if you can take those fights, you'll still get the extra gold, but as soon as you've absorbed Emberton, that stack will vanish. Sometimes it's just like the pacing, right? You're just like, okay, fine, I don't really get everything that I can potentially get out of this. I'll just settle for 75%. But it is really good if you can take all of that. This will take us through to here. Ooh. Yeah, all right, we're just gonna keep exploring. Harrier. Yeah, a Harrier is fine. And we'll just pick up another Storm Spirit for clearing purposes. Good deal. I have not played the campaign missions yet, Professor Pone. I'm intending on probably doing some single-player content next week, slash this week. I just have to, like, figure out what and when, because I think there are some things that I think would be fun. The current patches balance is a little strange and I think requires the right mindset to interact with, but I think that doing, like, an Oops All Manuals or, like, you know, some fun story campaign stuff could work. So all the time whenever it comes to those like power a Pokemon trainer, yeah, I think of those two fights that you're looking at, which is the Brigand Camp and the pasture. It's not just a question of risk, it's also a question of reward. The Brigand Camp, if you beat it as an infestation, you'll get like items, you'll get a bunch of different types of things, whereas the pasture is literal just food. So it's not, yeah, it's not just are the gargoyles gonna hurt me, but like, is the damage paying me back better on one of these stacks or the other? But then you also need to remember, what is this entire stack over here weak to? Gargoyles and stone spirits, what are they weak to? Open them up. Yeah. Spirit damage. Yeah. I think that is a much more winnable fight than you think it is. You'll probably take some damage in it because you're right, those are very aggressive units by design, but because you are specifically playing as High and therefore have access to colossal amounts of spirit damage, that fight in particular is one of the many reasons why High sometimes just has really good auto resolves. That you're just, spirit damage is good to a lot of stuff. Oh, excellent. We have a Scrying Sanctum. Good. All right. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to send another Storm Spirit off into the darkness to explore around. Honest to God, where are the Umbral cities in this? This is crazy. Does Winsley have all of them? I want a monster to work with. All right. Yeah, all right. We'll just go there, and I guess we'll just accept that we might legitimately not have an Umbral city to conquer or to interact favorably with. It's not on my watch. We're gonna do our best to interact with the Umbral demons. Yeah, so Sivin, the plan here for this build is we're gonna be testing out Reavers. So Reavers, largely speaking, were in a pretty bad space prior to their rework, but because now they give marked through just melee attacks, I think that their auto resolves have gotten just a lot better. They were they were definitely better than feudal, but I think Reavers were second in the tier list. But because they've reworked the way that this operates now, where melee units will actually support the ranged units, I'm just going to go ahead and just produce 2 low tier units to help us clear a little bit faster in this direction too. I think Reavers actually got a lot from the current upgrade, like just a lot from it. I think, God, wow, there's really just nothing. I mean, you can do it if you have lightning damage. No. Nothing particularly interesting so far. Right now, I'm not super looking for like pickups. What I'm looking for is a dwelling. I really want to be able to hire like an umbral demon hero from one of the dwellings, so that way, because my guys are naturally umbral disciples already. And so like I'll work well with the demon, and I because I'm on Fabled Hunters, I have the resources for it anyway. I'm willing to make bargains with Dormammu. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take lightning focus here and hope that we find blades on the back end, unless we find some other mana here today or this turn, because I think it would be ideal to reroll into blades, but it's gonna be expensive to get there. Oh my god, there's another silver over here. You can buy rush things, it's just complicated value. Okay, we're gonna get extra range. Is this a fighting? No, that's a free banner. It's kind of not what we want to see, actually. We kind of want a battle before this exclusively to get a level up on our ruler first. Okay, so can we find anybody else here? Guess we'll take a workshop. Just keep... Yeah, well, these guys will be in range to help this fight here, right? No. Oh yeah, Battlefield Remnants typically is not a battle, that's just a little bit of draft pickup. I guess we'll just use this Merc to also help scout over there. Yes. Right. Oh, yeah, not in our world. So here we're just gonna straight up buy that out so we can work on a second overseer a turn earlier. And I'm gonna go ahead and work on our foundation so that way we can start working towards that item forge. In terms of the items right now, because we haven't found a free city to fight, is Winsleya actually trying to use constrictors? Okay. Yeah, Spirit Hawk is, if you have lightning damage, you'll destroy them. But without it, you're at 50 and 50. I think that the Spirit Hawk is a big advantage over you, because it does good damage type, but also this is not like the max rank. This is a summoner. And so if they want to just drop in some Astral Echoes and get a silver medal on this, they'll definitely eat your dude. The issue is that it's ethereal, so that's a Spirit Hawk has +2 defense just like by being ethereal, so it's functionally like having tough. and so the damage won't drop off as quickly on the spirit. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely behind on Free Cities, but that's okay. Good. Assert dominance. Jeez. Dude, there's like absolutely nothing in any of these islands. This is crazy. Usually I found something by now. Yeah, I'm not done either. I'm just now finishing, I think. Yeah. I think actually here I could go ahead and say, yeah, you know it is. Yay! Oh, good. There was a monster came over and attacked us, and that's going to get us level 5. Snaps for the chat. Good. So now we can get a level up here without issue. That's 26. That's only 4 experience points we get on that merchant by walking in there. So that's sort of like a level 1. But I do think that it's still worth it to just pop up to level 6 immediately. Yeah, I think this is worth it. We will shake our fist to the heavens for not having 2 more movement points on this lightning spirit. That would have been helpful, but it's okay. I think we need it. Yeah. You could jump over there and say move your scout or die. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I'm not sold on the value of Whirlwind Blade here, given what we're trying to run. Yeah, he can do anything. Wait, where is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, look. Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
Three
Pop those guys
units,
back in.
Spider plus like 2 Dawn Defenders can probably take that, eh?
Almost certainly. It's just,
be
you know, like how much do you get out of 3
experience.
units versus 4?
Yeah.
It's always just the experience points.
Ooh.
If you have to fight him, you have to fight him.
I have excess money. Do you think it'd be worth it to 30 Imperium to increase my hero cap?
Usually,
somebody else
it depends on
no?
what hero you're getting. Like I, for instance, am gonna get a pretty good hero whenever I get it. But I mean, I guess I have 1 turn on extra turn that on these walls on this city anyway. So yeah, I actually can unlock, but it really depends on what you're unlocking and when. Here I got one of the heroes from the Lost Queen's Crypt, so I get like a bazillion equipment levels. So that one's like a lot more valuable.
This guy might be pretty good. 20% extra damage against tier 1 units.
That's one of those traits. That trait used to be hot garbage, but now that might be the best trait in the game. I don't know. That trait used to genuinely not be very good because you used to just get better units. But like,
I only have 60 Imperium. Do you think you'd spend on that or no?
Do you need him this turn for something?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, just there's some stuff I can clear on the map is kind of the only reason I would want to. Like I can start clearing that other direction a little faster than.
Well, I mean, you only have you don't have any units to go with him. You just got that one guy.
I'll have 1 more that's done next turn.
Okay.
2 units is not enough
you can
to start
recruit him
your
next
stack.
turn.
Yeah.
You need 4.
That's it though. So, you don't think so?
You need 4 for a clear stack. Like, there's no reason to start with just one.
Yeah, it just unlocks next turn anyways. I'm
Yeah,
stupid. I wouldn't
exactly.
even ask that
It's
question.
not it. So like, I did spend the Imperium here, because
Did you?
I did, because I it doesn't delay my city, because I have one extra turn because of walls that I wanted to put down because of like this city doesn't need walls as desperately as the forward one, but like it's always really bad to not have walls on useful cities. You'll get overrun pretty quickly.
I lost my Storm Spirit. He was doing so good.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
My first ever game, ever, of Age of Wonders.
Yeah.
4. I played Necromancer Kitties, and my ruler started with a Tide Spirit, and I kept that Tide Spirit with me for the entire game. It evolved into a bigger one, and then I made sure it got the final blow on the final enemy in the final siege. It's my watery son, and I loved him.
That is some close. Pokemon Master stuff.
Yeah.
He was probably getting, like, I don't want to say close, but like he was doing okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take this as 5 rather than 6. We don't really have like an infinite amount of mana right now anyway.
Like family.
That's a tome fragment. That's really busted. I think we'll probably still be in a good shape to just walk over and take that fight. And here I suppose we will take fighting.
Or experience leader before I reset all my skills.
So experience leader is one of those that you typically reset out of anyway. So it's really good to get early, and then as you get into the bigger fights, you reset it away. So this is a great opportunity to start that pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, and on that note, I think this particular build, while we're waiting for our big ranged units to come online, I think we actually are gonna pick up vigor here.
Did your game just get crazy quiet?
Blessed Fork or
Lost by Independence.
Whirlwind Blade. I think we actually may want Blessed Fork coming into this.
Oh, okay.
Because the extra spirit damage is almost certainly going to be colossal against these bad boys.
No, my scout's not dead.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's definitely correct.
That battle report showed that it was your stuff that was in that fight, wasn't it? Nergo, are you here?
Wait, who?
Do you have a little battle report notification to click on?
Not that I'm aware of. I usually click all my notifications away before I recognize them.
There was a scout, but my scout's still alive, so.
Okay, well I'm just gonna write down the timestamp of my stream, and I'm gonna go back and look at that later because something weird happened.
Yeah,
it's also not impossible that it's another debug rearing its head, so we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write that down. I got a pad of paper right here. I'm just gonna.
You're gonna have to take that mana.
What the heck? Because you were like, because Nemke made it sound like somebody else lost a scout in the fight, but when I clicked on it, it looked like it was I wasn't doing anything. My turn's over.
Very interesting. I don't know. Actually, let's go ahead. What is this? This is our Tormented Souls, right? Okay, so this is actually another option for us to get mana here if that's what we're after. And it kind of is exactly what we're after here. How much
scouting do you think there really is left on the top layer? Like, realistically, that they haven't scouted.
Yeah, on the top, well, that they haven't scouted or we haven't scouted. Like, I think that that thing pretty obviously extends maybe like another 5 or 10, maybe probably more like 5 turns to the north.
Yeah.
But like,
do we all get events at the same time?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask that actually.
I think we do.
For 172 gold, I would gain a Tentacle Enthusiast Warlock.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna do it. Sign me up.
We've got the tentacle magic.
We're starting. You're starting to finally come towards me. Oh, I get access to these guys' heroes now. Ooh,
if you have a friendly free city or something, you can recruit off of it. And it really is a big deal to get a higher level hero.
Yeah, a level 3 hero. Vicious Killer with Brutal. That's got to be the one. Oh no, that's Morale.
Yeah.
Wait.
So Vicious Killer is actually like crazy good for manual combats between players. It's one of those things that I considered even including in my my document from last night because it is really strong.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that like the actual use case for it is pretty narrow, and you
Yeah.
have to be really good to get as much value as some of those guys do.
So there's also, so my two options are brutal and unyielding, which is like the berserk one.
Of those two, I think
For my
unyielding
level
is just
threes.
easier to get value out of in a
Okay.
big manual fight at the
Okay.
end of the game.
I'm down.
But they're both really good.
Let's go, girl.
So this is a fight here where if we had strategic layer damage, this would be the easiest fight in the universe. But without it, it is going to be complicated. I'm going to go ahead and turn mana on because we are going to get some mana from the
Guys have a name
Soul's pickup.
suggestion. Hook it up.
Hopefully we don't lose anything like
Now,
super
does it need
important
to be,
here.
thematic. I can
That's
help with
unfortunately
this.
lost the mercenary, but I would not consider that super important considering
well,
how
I guess this
much
person
Okay,
isn't
so
part of my
she's got a
race.
la-
how much stuff we
She's
currently
got
have.
a lance.
Good.
Well, she's
Yeah,
part of-
this
she's
was
part
the
of your
most
faction
important one to
now.
not lose.
She
So-
is.
So let's see, actually. Yeah, if we could name units just for units like that, that would actually be a lot of fun. I yeah, it depends on... Yes. Let's see here. No, I think this is a good spot for us to just like stick around with. If they need help, if he needs help clearing this out, we can support with our vampire. Oh my god. Can we get inside of range for this fight from any direction? No, I don't think so. Yeah, we'll clump up here actually with this other army of some kind. There we go. Yeah, that'll be in a good spot. Oh, item forge, 100%. We need this. Oh my god. This is going to be actually like a really big upgrade for having found that free... Wait a second. Haunted Halls. Is Haunted Halls another one of the free ones? Garacian, what do your elf eyes see? Is Haunted Halls another one of the free clears? Dang it. I mean, maybe I do, and then just lose them. It does happen. I found one that was an insta clear. All right, you know what? I think that this fight ultimately is probably less productive than being able to clear this little island out. Oh my god, it's 6 turns. No, Ashwall is conquered. Yeah, they just conquered that. That was, I think that was exactly what we were seeing in that like Winslow was taking a longer turn thing. If he has no movement left, you know, you should still pop over and like say, hey, I'm killing your scout, but he can't do anything about it. You know, here we could use a lightning focus. It doesn't hurt. And like just generically getting extra passes up and going is pretty useful. Wait, why are we not able to cast this? Yeah. Oh, they're still planning out the fight. That's why they won't let me do this. Wait, are they having a manual combat with a scout? They can't be doing that, right? So these multiplayer games, the world threat is set to normal. Like we've played some games on high world threat, same with like the Dread Reaper Cody server. It's just that like high world threat really doesn't actually make the game harder. It just slows it down in the first 10-15 turns, and sometimes even 20. But the thing is that once you get past that early game, like where it's a little bit slower, then the game actually becomes a lot faster because there's going to be just like way more random heroes just littered around the board. So knowledge extraction goes up a lot in terms of value on high world threat. And then of course you also have like, what? I don't think it was me. If I've begun a siege, then I am unaware of it. Oh no, but I did crash. Okay. Yeah, they're like crushing the Free City side. Like I think we are behind, but I think if we can just focus on getting those free cities under control as quickly as possible, the ones that are remaining, that we can pull it back. You just like it is really about pacing in the early game, and it's complicated. Yeah. 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 I'll take a look at it, Garacian, and see if I can come up with a way to make Dark work a little better for auto resolves, because they do look like they are better than they used to be, but also Dark is traditionally not one of the, like, the air quotes strong cultures for exactly this reason. Yeah, if you're... Yeah, they have no walls. If they're in the area and you can conquer them, you should. If you have the Imperium. Yeah. Let's see here. All right, there is a little bit of extra draft right there for us to potentially pick up. I don't think we're taking this tome fragment anytime soon with what we have available, but I don't hate grabbing that extra draft. And now it's just a question of where does this guy go? I think not near that. That is a quest over there that we could potentially pick up. There's also clearing in the water that could potentially be useful. So actually, yeah, let's just go back home and start clearing some water. That's probably safest. Yeah, that looks like a good plan. So 3 mercs and a hero versus an Inferno puppy and a Houndmaster. All of these are mercs, so they just like are just interchangeable idiots. Yeah, we can do this. This should not be an issue. And you found another city down here. Just grab tiles and produce. This is a really low quality city because there's extremely few things near it that are useful. But if we can get down into there, I think that'll be in a good spot. What's up? Which one? Oh yeah, yeah. Good. That's exactly what we're looking for. Like sometimes the free stuff is like, so, depending on what's going on, like worse. Like I would much rather have found an Umbral city to work with rather than just like random free things. It just depends on what you're offered. Free stuff is definitely better than like stuff you have to fight for that isn't good. That's the worst intersection. Oh, well. All right, normally a staff is a pretty easy thing to replace, but the fact that this summons a Spider Monarch means that I do think that we have an option here to just hold on to that staff for a while. And I don't even necessarily hate just using this as an opportunity to start working on support skills on this hero, because I think our ruler is going to be the one that resets into being a pretty easy killing momentum machine, hopefully. We need mana. We need mana something fierce. We need mana fight something fierce. There's a mana though. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. And I guess we'll just go ahead and grab the extra research. Doesn't really cost us much because I don't think we're gonna be we don't really care that much if we get the boost off this immediately. Well, you know, haunted halls could be an option to fight this. I found a silver wonder that it's pretty irresponsible for me to be trying to figure out how to fight it, but I'm gonna try to figure out how to fight it anyway. This is one of these starts where, like, I think because we're kind of behind, but not desperately so, that taking a little bit of risk on is actually useful. Temple of the God Ear, check what's in there first before committing to fighting it, because those can be absolutely disgusting. They can have Baylors in there, and then don't fight them. That's not a fightable. Let the other team lose all their units there. Well, you know, this is a... Yeah, that's what I'm gearing up for. Like, mostly, yeah, so they're definitely up there. Mostly we should be scouting around in their territory with individual stacks if we can put them together. Because if they find them and catch them, then we're not, like, in a lot of trouble. Whereas if they find and kill your hero, that's pretty dangerous. That's triple support, so this is the freest experience points we're gonna get all game probably. But you're out of range, and I assume that you are also out of range because we don't have any mounts. No mount masters, Walker. How could you do this to yourself? This actually legit might be here into this, just an outpost with a work camp, because that's going to be pretty far away from the city. The city really is trash. But a third city is a third city. Yeah. Yeah. And I also just, like, generically like that in multiplayer, right? Because in single player you click end turn and then you realize 3 seconds later, oh crap, I could have done blah. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out how can I get the max value out of that fight? Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why I'm not working with Mount Masters, is that here I don't think it does anything for Reavers. Yeah. I'm not even running Mount Masters here. My guys are all so slow. Cross purpose. Oh, somebody killed the hero out there. Yeah, that's what happened. All right. I think this is an easy enough fight with a Flow Serpent here that I'm willing to risk it with just one hero because of the Spider Monarch potential summon. If we just get, like, slaughtered, then almost certainly it's because it failed to pick that up. But no, we're not taking a Flow Serpent. Those are trash. They died way too fast. Oh yeah, no, so what you do is you challenge it and then you just retreat instead of clicking attack. And the units that spawn will be locked too. No, that's winnable. Yeah. two Lightbringers. No. Just bring like a battle mage or a ranged unit. So the way that like people get completely TPK'd by Lightbringers is if the AI doesn't free your dudes, and if you bring enough tools that are ranged that can kill the Lightbringers just by identifying them, the AI will prioritize doing that. You just need enough tools that the AI can actually do that with. So like on that fight, you would definitely want like a Wand of Blizzards, or if you had one or two ranged pieces that could participate, like a skirmisher, like an Inquisitor would be sick there. But yeah, like you'll find some through warfare and settling things. Ooh. Okay, the underground here looks incredibly profitable for me, so I actually may end up moving underground rather than onto the water near me. There's so many layers in this game. Yeah, actually, this does look really promising. So let's see if we can leverage that. That's next turn for you. That's way out of range for you, isn't it? We don't even have a thing for you to walk around on, do we? Nope. Yeah. Yeah. That's partially world threat dependent, but also it like generically depends on how many free cities we have and what they're trying to do to us. Looks like there's a free city who's trying to interact with my capital, for instance, so I might need to make some stuff in my cap to fight back. Yeah, I'm gonna let this guy go scouting up north. I think that'll be fine. I don't even hate casting lightning blades, honestly. That's just great for auto resolves. Great for auto resolves. We just need to find more mana now. How many times does Walker say we just need to find more mana now before you drive yourself completely crazy? So yes, okay, I agree 100%. I want probably as like maybe a society trait, like I say sort of flippantly that when people ask me what do you want for DLC, that I say multiplayer stability and for auto resolve to work for all of the cultures, and that is true. Like that's not a flippant statement. But if you said, you know, okay Walker, but you know that's not what people mean when they ask that question, try to be useful, then I would say that underwater layer is actually the thing that I want the most. I don't even care if it would be the most healthy. I like Sahuagin. I think they're fun. Yeah, because you already have a tranquility pool, because you took that one. Just be aware that, you know, like, no pressure, but that means that you're probably the one who's going to scale up the best out of our team right now. And so if you can find the pieces for the rest of Cosmoflux Elixir, then you're our carry. So, you know, there was a there's a dew north of Moist Tentacles, but that's so far away. And also Jatch Vetch has Astral Dew. It's yeah. Where? Oh, you jerk. Alright, No, I didn't come. I just walk. You act like I walked in that direction non-randomly. They walk randomly so that my other guys can walk specifically. All right, well, you guys want to do a 1v1 manual as the sign off here, because it's 2:54 and Nemke needs to leave. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, if we can go a little bit longer, then that's fine too. Yeah, we're just talking about the spider. Yeah, I think it sounded like we were gonna just have it like be a 1v1 and then out. Oh. Yeah, no. If we're not finishing this, right now, like pausing because he needs to leave, then you can just auto it. That's fine. No. So kill it on next turn. Yeah. Yeah, you want to auto that, that's fine. So one thing you can do is just like delete units to deny tiny amounts of experience points to your opponents, but I think that's okay to not do that unless it's a big deal. See? What did I tell? What did I tell you, man? So if you click on Diplomatic Overview, which is the Scales Nemkey, then overall ranking, which adds up all the little beeps and bops for the different categories, you are top out of all of their different accumulations. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah. Get out of here, zombie. Get out of here, zombie. After the game, go. After the game, go. Zombie. That would, you know. Where is he? Oh, yeah. I see that. Somnial Deathcaller. He's at 22 HP. Yeah. It would be good too, but complicated. Yeah, Assassination Plan. Actually, that mana fight does look imminently grabbable here. Yeah, we'll just send this Merc out to grab that, and then we've gotten, I think, most of the value out of this island except for this guy. But with our limited movement options, I do think that we have to respect that and kind of come back to explore this underground, because I do think that this is going to generate nearly as much value, if not more so. If we can get 2 haunted halls, that would be sick. Yeah, listen, we will talk about this after the stream, but those numbers are basically nonsense. They're fun and I like tracking them, but they're immensely misleading. It just means next to nothing. Yeah. We'll turn mana off for this. Yeah, if you have level 4 and you have Frostblades down, then you should have no problem fighting that. That's probably still not gonna be a too difficult fight for you. Yeah, you could do that too. Blizzard is obviously like better against single model or against multi-model entities, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, I believe that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in actually on that spot for our Forester, and then let's go ahead and see what we can take apart here for our disenchantment. What happened? Oh, yeah, that's rare. You can occasionally lose your ruler in fights, especially it's very rare with Eldritch Sovereign, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Like getting an enchantment spell down early is also pretty important. Yeah. Greed is good, but yeah, it's how many biscuits? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Is Ashen Ruins a free clear? All right, good. In Aspu, so we're closing in. I think we probably got like 30, maybe 45 more minutes. That we're gonna be probably streaming for the remainder of the day. But this is just a new campaign that we're starting out where we're playing with Reavers, and it's not going too badly so far. Like we haven't found an Umbral Dwelling, which is I think the most disappointing thing because we genuinely do need it here. But otherwise, we're not in too bad shape. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, as long as everything's connected in a magic chain, then you can do whatever you want to. Yeah, if your city, yeah, and it doesn't even need to be yours directly. It can be a free city that's friendly. It's not. I don't think it counts allies. Yes. All right. Good. Oh my god. This is Pokemon Trainer. Good. He's treating his auto resolve right. He's gonna become the perfect Pokemon Trainer. For the handful of people who are like really truly unwell, you should read my my rules from last night because they're 10 pages long, and they're full of all sorts of in jokes that it seems like Gian has unfortunately internalized. Because what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? No. He's talking about yeah, he's talking about the build here for this for Cold Kittens. Athletics Hardy Arctic adaptation. I'm kind of surprised that we don't see here on this build access to Tome of Beasts, because I do think that Tome of Beasts is the thing that best justifies Arctic adaptation. But he might just be running Cryomancy and Arctic, which isn't bad. I just think Beasts is generally better. Right? Garacian, tell me more about this. You surely must have a strong opinion on that. Why aren't they aquatic? I believe that too. Okay, so we have like 10 million mercs, so I think we just take this fight this. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Actually, God. Get rid of... We need to get rid of this hero. We cannot have random enemy hero just like wandering around forever. And we're gonna take the trait too, so we get knowledge here. But this is a really awkward location for this golden layer and this river. This is the worst part, is this random river right here. Garacian, do you have the ability to just destroy rivers with your mines? No, your mines plural. Like, can you do it? Like, if you combine them? Can you do that for me? So this river, like right next to my capital, I need you to destroy the entire one. Just turn it all into desert for me. I think we are gonna have to do it like this. Yes, absolutely. We're gonna take a chaplain here. Getting an extra like tier 2 support unit that's very different from what you're normally doing is actually really helpful. This of course is gonna have issues where you can't bring it into the Umbral layer as easily, but I don't really care. Like getting access to a chaplain without being forced to take faith is pretty good. Use you. Yeah. I think you can grab a farm. Yeah, it does sometimes happen. This is a good reason, by the way, to not take restore early. It's pretty rough for your auto resolves. Very, very powerful, but they're mostly more powerful in the hands of humans rather than they are in the hands of the AI. The most terrifying thing about them by a huge margin isn't the extra unit, it's the killing momentum, but that really doesn't matter for the AI nearly as much as it matters for PvP. Yeah. Yeah. You'll as you play more get more confident at which fights you're allowed to take and when. Yeah, everyone should see everything. Yeah, there's 3 things. Yeah. I do too. Okay. So we see him. He's got a level 5 ruler. He's got a Dark Knight. He's got triple Lesser Storm Spirits and a level 4 hero. Yeah. That's not strong enough to justify attacking a capital, so you don't need to be worried about that as a downside. The risk, like, that's not real. But you do need to be aware of where his units are, so that way you're not, like, walking your dudes into just getting killed. I think here, actually, we do have to build a Mana Forge, considering that we want to build the Gloom, but we can't build it because we have to clear that unit out of the way first. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Winsley absorbed Ashwall? Interesting. Wonder if he was committing Imperium to spiking up relationship for getting the hero off of them ASAP. I don't know if that's worth it or not, but I do think that's... Yeah, I think that's a complex thing. Evil Dire Penguins, perfect. We need to get Gloom going though. It's just a question of, God, where the hell are all of the Umbral things? This is crazy. Where is the Umbral dwelling? Gone through like 12 turns, 15 turns. No Umbral dwelling. So small. All right, we got this Merc is just gonna have to stand here and wait for us to clear that out. And then it's a question of Haunted Halls, I guess. Can we take Haunted Halls with this? Maybe. Maybe. If we can take Haunted Halls with this, then we probably need to, because of where we are in terms of our team versus theirs. So I guess we are going to cast it. We'll hold on to Mana Blades for now. And then I guess we're just going to use our other stack to try to clear out the random pillage stack here. Oh god. We have to work on our tier 4 walker. All right, let's fix that. Let's get our tier 4 done. Warding Crown seems okay. This seems nonsense. We don't need that. That does nothing for us. That's a hell. That's True Sight is okay. Wait a second. Did it eat? Oh my god. During the desync, it looks like all of the units that all of the things I attempted to deforge in the arsenal disappeared. Yeah, I lost like 200 forging essence. Fix your game, guys. I want to play this, but you need to fix your game. I tried to take an action between turns. Like it picked up me trying to like take apart a couple of things during the arsenal, like during a rollover, and I think it just ate everything. Okay, so here we are gonna have to go with a pistol sword, because you can't actually justify taking pure mage lock early on. But we can take pistol sword. Pistol sword's pretty good. Crit chance, retaliator, animal slayer, and we'll just take bleeding. It's a place to start, and we'll get a good rifle or something later. So like support skills are really dangerous for your heroes for auto resolve because of the way that the AI will just like randomly wander in strange directions to use healing. So it's generally not actually as useful for dark. They need survivability from like other forms. What's up? Yeah, if they click on you, then you'll be dead in diplomacy, so they'll be aware of that. Yeah. Yep. Emberton. Yeah, you need an outpost connecting those. But you can get that pretty easily. Like where your Sun Priest is standing right now, if that was an outpost, then Emberton would grow way faster. Oh yes. Yes, holy crap, we found one. Where is this? Oh, that's no. So don't destroy these or attempt to destroy them without communicating actively. I'm going to negotiate with this one because like I really do need the strength of a tier 3 hero if I can, or a level 3 hero if I can find it. He's not friends with you automatically. He'll probably still try to attack you with stuff, but that's okay. Yeah, you can also hire heroes off of them. Like, I think that's the... Yeah, if it doesn't cost you anything to interact positively, then you should. Tier 1 tome and a culture trait vacuums. So there are a lot of things that synergize really well with cryomancy, fortunately. I think that... Yeah, you saw him across the void, basically. You're talking about... So generically, I think the... Wait, which battle? Where? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Like 1v1? You could, but I don't think it's worth risking it. Because if they have good spells and they want to manual it, like, are you talking about for another player or for... like who controls the Spirit House? Yeah, because the Spirit Hawk, you're not fighting against the Spirit Hawk if it's a player. You're fighting against a Spirit Hawk and that player's entire spellbook, and the Spirit Hawk is worth nothing, whereas the Sun Priest is actually like a really good unit if it can stick around. All right, I'm gonna take this. Let's see actually what this looks like. Is this 1,000 combat power? Absolutely not. We're not taking this. You got to go back up to the surface. Okay. Yeah, wild speakers without a they're not scary on their own. Like, yes, they add an extra unit, but the extra unit is not very important. Where wild speakers are most terrifying is in the hands of a human who has managed to keep one of their evolutionary summons alive. At that point, when they have an evolutionary tier 3 or tier 4 spider, wild speakers go from being like replacement level to being absolutely disgusting, probably one of the best support units in the game, but they have to have that unit to support or you should not be afraid of them. Like they get so much extra value out of killing. Demon Step's terrible, don't take that. No. Demon Step and Blink will get your hero killed. When it comes to, are you talking about on your ruler or on your hero? Yeah, on the hero, just take the thing that provides the most value to you. Most of the time, that's like Mass Rejuvenation or Mana Unchained or Rallying Blessing. Restoration is mostly if you're in manual fighting mode. So like it's much better in the late game. Mana Unchained, absolutely. Mana Unchained's one of the best. It's one of the best traits in the entire game. Yeah. Yep. Like due in part to the fact in oh. He might be, yeah. He probably got one from an event or something, because you can get them. You can get them pretty early if you get lucky. Actually, this chaplain is okay, just running this way. Yeah, you threaten with what? So, synergy, it's not even necessarily Godsend about synergizing the most with Cryomancy, and it's more about what does Cryomancy provide for you. Because you really do not need to be, like, super concerned with maximizing synergy in Age of Wonders 4. In fact, I think that is largely a trap, the same way that it is in, like, Slay the Spire. I think people who, especially once you start trying to play Slay the Spire on, like, a higher difficulty level, you'll realize that synergy is not the thing that creates and determines power in that game or in this one. It's consistency, replicability, and does this thing cover its own weaknesses particularly well? Because in Slay the Spire and Age of Wonders 4, the thing that's going to get you killed the most is not, did I over-specialize enough? It's, did I not have the tools necessary to cover for my own weaknesses? So Cryomancy does have access to a stun, therefore, like, in the form of Frozen, but it also has access to, like, helping stuns through negative status resistance. So Blizzard is actually, like, generically very powerful if you're trying to do something like utilizing like the Hysteria Storm as, like, your pick on your ruler, or just, like, really anything that you're trying to do to maximize status resistance as a form of pseudo-control, right? It's less useful if you're trying to use it to buff your poison damage in outer space, but it's pretty good for other things. But like Cryomancy also deals slowed because it has, yeah, and also don't be afraid to just drop down outposts as forms of opportunities to heal. They're really good for you. We should probably talk about that after the stream, because I have mixed feelings on it. Like, it's, I think, really good for us to trade resources back and forth, but I do think that it's also pretty game breaking for us to trade resources back and forth. So I think that's something where we should have a conversation rather than a dictation of rule. Well, the thing is that, like, in free-for-alls, you know, you're not going to be just giving people resources, and in teams, it's, like, really efficient to just give people resources. So, like, here, for instance, I'm working on my tier 4 weapon, and I could have said, okay, all of you guys send me all of your magic materials so that for 5 turns, so I can make this weapon crazy good, and it would be a lot better. Do you think that would be a healthier gameplay experience? I don't know. Right. That's true, but it doesn't matter as much for those short-term things, because like the power spike you get is so big. I mean, probably. If it doesn't really cost you any time, then it's fine. But Nature 1 is one of those picks that largely should be dependent on what's going on the map. Like, here I'm already at 3 cities, and there just aren't a lot of random cities nearby that I'm going to be able to conquer into. And so I don't get as much value out of taking it. But if you're going to use it basically 2 or 3 times during the game, and you can get it early enough without delaying anything, then it's pretty good. It's best when you're conquering free cities. That's when Nature 1 is really good. So actually, what are we gonna get off of this stupid hero we're gonna kill? We're gonna get 2, 2, and 1. So we'll get most of the resources back. What? Yeah, I'm at war with Yakvek. Yeah. Yep, they're not your friend yet. They're not your friend. They will be in due time, but they are not your friend right now, and they've sent an army out to attack me, so I'm gonna have to kill that hero next turn. Yeah. Well, you don't want to you don't want to stand around. That's the worst way to scout. You want to move around. You're a shark. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't work, unfortunately. I think everybody is starting to square up for potential fights, so be on the lookout for that. But I don't think it's going to be a catastrophe. Like, the worst thing that you can do is over respond to that and then like wait around for 5 turns while they bring their armies over, because then you're just like 3 levels behind. Yeah. Okay, so they did indeed charge in here. We'll go ahead and give mana for this just in case. It did lose some mana in that fight, but I do think that was worth it because we picked up 150 knowledge. And here we're on warding, so I actually think that we're probably not going to reroll anything, because most of these spells are actually like A, trash, but B, really cheap, and we just want to chew through our ranks as quickly as we can. Probably could cast that. I'm gonna take experience leader, so that way we have some good scaling. Farm as much as you can, as aggressively as you can. It's like usually correct. Ooh. This is so good out here, but bro. Probably. Where is this? West of Iberg. Oh, yeah. 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 I mean, you should be able to. Like, this is another one of these fights where you have two units that are single model entities and two fights that are multi-model entities. And so the two single model entities will perform much better. It's a resource management thing, right? Like if the blizzard doesn't cost you anything and doesn't prevent you from being able to use it elsewhere, then you should use it. I think this means we're just gonna go ahead and release this dude just to get more heroes over there. You can just send your hero at it, but you can also just like randomly send like a Dawn Defender instead. Like the ones that are individual are gonna be both. You're higher risk, but they are gonna also be able to engage more easily. And so if they're important units that you need to do damage early, you can separate them. Yeah, we'll take the altar again. Or as we go, without somewhere for Fabled Hunters to walk into, we are starting to run low on resources. We're gonna have to look around pretty carefully for that. It's a lot of draft. Yeah, exactly. It's money. Like, the draft is not the only thing you need to think. Yeah, we'll go this way. Yeah, we'll go this way. And then who else? Where else can you guys farm? I guess we'll send our second stack west. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, I have a scout, right? My floaty boy, my floaty boy. God, you guys have like all that corner over there? What are you doing? Yes. I guess we will actually have this chaplain just hang out with our friends, and we'll just clear this out. And there's an Umbral Abyss here, and so we'll just go through the Umbral Abyss and find out where our ruler ends up. Hopefully there's movement somewhere to bring us back home eventually. Yeah. Where? I guess we'll send this to explore down here, actually, because if we can take that Gorgon Slayer, that actually is also good. This is... Oh, this is an impassable. Is that uninhabitable and uninhabitable? So yeah, this is actually a terrible underground spot anyway. Who's been exploring? Oh, ooh, I found another Astral Dew. So this world tree, if we can take that world tree, would be awesome. This is the most upsetting thing here, is we have double golden gates, but like these are impossible to auto with the build that we currently have and the resources we currently have, but also just like really difficult to auto generically. Hopefully we'll find a better tool for that fight down the road. because we do need to clear those. Like we really haven't had a lot of space for generic cities or free cities. Like this was definitely Winslaya's city, considering where it is. Where is this? Oh, that individual one arcane guard. That arcane guard is not. You should be able to kill that next turn unless they can reinforce. Well, all of those sensing ones that are up there. Well, I think if you guys want to kill that, then I think my recommendation is that you Garacian engage that stack with the scout, and that Nemki provides the actual army by moving some of his strength over there. Yeah, like they might. Yeah, this is also an insanely profitable Umbral Abyss to be conquering if you can. Yeah, there's so much stuff in here. There's so much stuff down here. Like there isn't a city, but there's almost everything else. It's just like a lot of stuff to grab. Actually, is there anything we can send you right now? I guess we don't really have the gold. We'll see if there's anything we can send them next round. What's up? Oh, Ayler, so I posted it on community, in the community page on my YouTube channel, but it's basically like a 10-page document on how to help you design your own rules for your own group for multiplayer at home. And then Winslaya has, like, I'm trying to work with him to get our rules in his Discord kind of like patched up in terms of presentability. If you are curious on how to design your own rules, then that's what the 10 pages are more for. But I think they're also just like fun. I wrote it in like 4 hours in just like a stream of consciousness and sanity thing, and it was so much fun. Where is this? Yeah, that's a cleared sanctuary. It's right next to Winslaya's capital. Jesus Christ, they got way better Umbral Abysses than we did. This is insane. Yeah, the easiest way if you want to like is just to go into the Umbral Abyss first, and then click like I see where Nerud, that city is. So I go to the Umbral Abyss first, and then I click back to the regular world, and it'll just show you where you need to go in. Yes, negative. We will. So like, yeah. So there's a lot of crazy stuff in this. Yeah, you'll get more build guide videos. I think the plan is, yeah, it's literally right next to his capital. So you see where Sanctuary expansion is in the lower southwest corner of the Umbral layer. Go there first, then you see right above Sanctuary expansion, there's that sun. Click on the sun, it bounces back to right next to Ashwall and like directly underneath Brightstar. So that's like right next to Winslaya's capital. That's how you generally want to interact most of the time with the Umbral layer. Once you're trying to like move around inside it, you'll just have to look at it. Look, you'll watch it at home. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. I guess we're gonna have to build this quarry just for movement purposes to link everything back up. Not, well, just not thrilled with that. It might just be better for us to just take this farm and then switch it. Yeah, that's probably safer. Well, this one we're gonna switch straight into a forester rather than a quarry for the purposes of building a blacksmith early, because I don't know if that city really desperately needs it. What we desperately need is something to fight, because we have just been stalled for a while here. This map is incredibly cramped here, Jesus. Yeah. Wait, with what? Where is this? So I actually don't know if you can dig or prospect stalagmites in the abyss. I haven't run them on this map just yet. So we'll see, like with the Umbrella Abyss online. I wouldn't hate just being able to build tier 3 in this ASAP, but we need some gold for that. Well, here's some gold for that. It's triple gargoyles. Maybe? Where are you? Yeah. That'll, if it's giving you 5, it'll put you at 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then you need the 10. Yep. Oh, good. There's a graveyard down here. That's really important. Good. Thank God. If we didn't have something to fight, then this would be a rough spot here. But with something to fight, actually, I think we can go ahead and grab the graveyard this turn. Oh, good. And there's also a Fireforge stone. It's not huge, but that's not useless, actually. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, don't worry about risk in regards to like where to send your ruler. We're not reward at the moment because of, again, where we are in we're just like several cities behind because of the free cities where they were. Oh, he's trying to besiege your free city? That's not really your... Okay. Yeah, Oracle is not really your city either. It's like so far away from being incorporated. You know, this is strange because here we are going to have access to a tier 4 weapon immediately, and then still nowhere to walk to for you guys. Yes, you're still gonna have some issues with no ability to walk here. I think we're gonna have to reset this ruler at some point because there's just like a bunch of random things on it. Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah, we're gonna still take Staves of Warding even with our mana problems at the moment. So I'm hoping we're gonna find a solution for that somewhere around here. Okay, so there's a gigantic city for us to interact favorably with. Oh, or negatively. This is actually an important decision tree here. We could try to interact favorably with Ultopia, but it's so far away that I'm actually just gonna go ahead and declare war and just pillage their stuff. Because we need gold, and that's a good way to get it. That is a good way to get it. The pirate code, because you're a pirate now, because you're steering wheels or whatever. I'm sold. I am 100% sure. Believe it. Where actually can this penguin go? Can you find anything useful to do, penguin? Do we have to give you Imperium so you can sail the high seas? I think we might literally have to. I think we need the growth. Merc, go wander around. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to cross this here, and this is one of these downsides for Reavers, is that if we don't find something for us to fight with Fabled Hunters, we are gonna have some choppy seas. At least year gold. At least year gold. And we also might legitimately make another overseer here, or observer, just to check what's out. Okay, so Winsley is up to he's up to size 10 in his cap, so he's been just like dumping population into that, or he's playing with Fabled. No, he's on Runesmith's Humble Disciples, so he's just like really pumping athletics into, or Imperium into his capital. So he's probably trying to work up towards bastions, is my guess, which would be pretty scary. In terms of our own counter tools, we've got, I guess, a tier 4 weapon now. Yeah, I think we have a tier 4 weapon now as our the best answer that we're picking up this turn. Let's see, actually, that's 445. I think we can take this fight. Yeah, this should not be a problem. I could see us losing the Harrier, but if we lose the Harrier, we lose the Harrier. We can literally produce them at silver rank in our capital. Ooh, lost the Mercenary. That's a little more complicated, because we actually do need front range tools in order to keep pressuring folks, but I think we do what we gotta do here to get value. Can you go into the underground? God, we need mana. Are we forced to build a mana forge then? Yeah, I think we are forced to build. And then I guess we'll take Storehouse just for actual clearing, like growing onto the board. Extra run, everyone gets to move faster. It's really good for you. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. He's done a pretty good job of keeping those guys alive. Yep. Yeah, they are. None of them are evolved, but a lot of them are leveled. Let's see. You largely are not actually going to play well if you look exclusively for low-risk battles. What you really want to be looking for are where you can minimize your losses and where you can be as greedy as you can to maximize returns. Do that. Because you... Like, if you... Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Individual slithers or slither hatchlings? Slithers are pretty good, but they're like... everything is so... You have 4 units. Where is this? Pedestal. Yeah, the easiest of those fights is definitely the Slitherer fight. Like the nymph fight is also potentially really easy if you have a tool necessary for clearing the nymph. But you have double daylight spears. Like the only thing you're really missing is just easy access to supports, so that way when you have injured units like this, it'll heal it at the very beginning of the fight, so that way you're not starting with a unit at 64. Almost never, but it really depends on what sort of tools you have. I mean, like, if you want to max the value of Blizzard, then actually what you do is you chuck it at the Lightbringer stack with the Exemplar, because Lightbringers are at -4 weakness to Frost, and so if you hit them with literally one Blizzard, then it's actually pretty easy for you to kill them with any ranged pieces, but you don't have a support hero here. Like, you have literal all melee. You kind of want it whenever you're fighting against Frostbringers, or against Lightbringers, you need, like, one. Oh, they just died, yeah. 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 Yes. The Frost, the most important thing that you can do with a Blizzard at this point is to use it for creeping, but like in 5 to 10 turns, the most important thing that you can do with it is to have it like queued up and ready to fight against another player. They'll do natural regeneration slowly though. I think those guys might just, if you're looking at that fight, then you should get some kind of ranged piece. You should not try to fight against double Lightbringers without a ranged piece. Yeah, I think he is too. That would be ideal. Yeah, I think we need a lot of outposts connecting Garacian with the rest of the world. Okay, so Zombie and Winsleya are, I'm assuming, piecing together an army for a push somewhere? Yeah, that's what I think they're trying to do. We've got Bird's Cold, Hexpont, Sagehaven, and Outpost turning into work camp. So it looks like Gian is working on city number 4, which I think is probably where we really want to be. Maybe it's here, just to help us link up with everybody else. These are all so low quality. There's like absolutely no high. There's no land here. There's no land that does anything, at the very least. I guess this doesn't do nothing. Going down to the layer of silk actually might be worth it. Yeah, I actually think that's probably pretty good. Let's look to see if we can find some gold for that to make that happen. Could potentially go in. You will go here next turn. And then hopefully we'll find some gold. Hopefully we'll find something. Yeah, so here we got an outpost here. And so we're gonna spend a little bit of mana, or a little bit of gold on that, but oh, what? Okay, this is fine. I guess we can still move the chaplain out to not take umbral damage this way. Yeah, that's a good deal. You guys, how are you gonna lose a Harrier in a 5v2 like that? Rude. Just rude. You're just rude. You don't need to lose units like that auto-resolve. You don't need to do that. You're better than this. You're better than this auto-resolve. Alright, let's see what these two friends find underneath, because now we're starting to run low on resources to actually keep pushing in that direction too. Yeah, we're gonna have to go here. We could spend Imperium on ways to clean this out, but given that we're gonna have to go home and it's gonna take like 40 turns to get anywhere. Oh. Alright. We're going to the water with that. There's just nothing else to do with these stacks on this side of the board. You know, honestly, if we had the gold, I'd be in for a corrupt soul here. So maybe we actually start sending the Harrier just out to sea here. That could be pretty good. Oh, I do have a horse. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, Jones. We do have just a random, silly little horse, but that's all we need. Anything for movement points at this point in the game is exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, you go here, and we'll explore this layer and see where that goes. This is more underground near someone. Good lord. Well, at least we're not sending an entire stack down there. That's important. Gold me, baby, please. You have no idea how much stuff we've spent on this. Why are you doing this to me, Triumph? No. Okay. Yeah, we need to do this probably, and then do we have anything else we can build here? We could pick up a lodestone. Yeah, tier one free city is so dumb. Yeah, we'll keep this as 5 because I don't think that we're going to be getting close to level 4 before that big fight. Oh, but we will take a Wyvern Fledgling for potential evolution options. If we can get it to last long enough. It's literally just one layer of silk. It's the entire city. Yeah, I think we have to build this. Whether it's a great city or not is irrelevant. This is about how do we maximize this unbelievably low quality land. But we will, by extending into these territories and connecting everything and creating a lot of free territory to heal in and move quickly through, hopefully we can start to pull that back. And I guess we have to build merchandise. Boy, this is not where we can be. I think you probably want to just keep exploring to see if we can find anything else. No, that's all just, well, this is potentially clearable if we had excavation. Maybe this is where we're excavating. Another big investment of Imperium, but it might honestly be worth it. Because you could go here and clear this. Is anybody else fast enough to get down there and clear this turn? No, but we have a layer of silk fight. So yeah, actually let's go ahead and take excavation here. Boom, and that's a start. You guys can heal. And I think that's good to go. God, we need this. We need this. This is the resource we really need. Gold. We need gold and we need mana. And the easiest way, of course, is to like actually fight things. If we have to build vendors, like I'm willing to let us do it, but it's not what you want to be doing when you're on Fabled Hunters. Not even a little bit. This will help. This will help for sure. If we can just, even if this dies because they make an attack stack, if we manage to pillage 2 tiles, then I'm thrilled. If we get 3, then that's incredible. What do we have in terms of our arsenal? We have 160, 200, 280 that we could potentially dismantle, but we still don't really have any magical resources to funnel into that just yet. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. This is a pretty rough like nap location for us, because like we really did get cut off from a lot of things, and so like I don't have anywhere to go with my fabled hunters. Like my economy has kind of been stalled for like 4 turns because there was enough space for 3 cities, and then nothing else. And this is why I was trying to get us to play on like large with deserts, because even just like large 6-player is not as big as people think that it is. But I think we mostly just got screwed by the Umbral Abyss. Like their abyss was no, yeah, we're gonna have a big fight. We're gonna have a big fight soonish at some point. Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you don't have any... Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, the turn is rolling. Oracle is definitely falling, because what he's going to do is probably going to like level up his storm spirits to evolve them right before the fight. But if you're like, almost certainly, but if you're farming in that area, then that's okay, because like what you can do is watch to see if he loses a bunch of stuff, and then like come in behind him. And you have a lot of things that you can fight nearby. That's the most important thing. You don't want to be just like standing nearby just to stand nearby. You want to be doing something proactively. Ooh. Dope. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just clear this layer right now, assuming that we can, because that would actually be really good for us. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Hopefully. Let's give a tier 4 summon Monarch. I think we probably will end up losing some mercs in this fight. Hopefully we don't lose the support, but you do what you gotta do. Hey, sometimes you take good fights. Sometimes you take good fights. We're gonna definitely take the gold here. We've been desperately searching for gold for like 15 turns. On Oracle, yeah, you won't see it. Like he walked in. No, he's in it. He got it, because like when you click on Oracle, you see who shows up. Yep. Yeah. Almost certainly. Almost, like there's no reason to be conquering that close to the enemy and releasing it as a vassal, because they'll just conquer it straight back. He could do that too, but then it would actually be on fire already. I guess here we'll just take probably Summon Undead. Nah. We do have support ability. It gets +1 fortune. But we don't really have a fortune option here. So I'm actually going to take Animal. So that way, when we die, we don't immediately kill all our undead servants. I think that'll be good. And then we'll work on... Yeah. I believe it. That's... Are you ready to counterattack? Sometimes it's not about having your full like this might be a heavy cavalry option thing, right? Like sometimes it's not about do you have all of the strength necessary, it's a question of do you have more than they do. And I can't tell you that without actually doing aggressive scouting. Yeah. His ruler is not dead, according to diplomacy. Yeah, alright, we'll make mana forges. At least they give me production. Garacian, yeah. I was gonna say how much do you have in locally? Yeah, in that area. Okay. Yeah. Well, like, if you can put enough resources on the ground that you can win a fight, then you should take the fight. Which obviously there's like a lot of thinking that goes into that, but yeah, we'll just work on Institute here. I think that'll be fine. Quarry, we do need a research post in the city eventually, but I'm okay delaying it if we're growing in the right direction. I'm just gonna grab this. I'm gonna go ahead and take a Phantasm Warrior. You have those 4, but those are still 2 turns. I mean, you should also, like, clear out that nymph fight along the way. Yeah, like, you don't have... This is where, like, also when you're immediately about to start a fight against another player, that's where you want to blob stacks more, so that way you reduce damage total. But, like, when you have those sorts of fights that are nearby and you have all these units nearby, you shouldn't not pick them up, because that's a lot of raw resources you can just snag for free. Yeah. With those 5 that you have, you could take that fight without your ruler, but I don't, like, it's not worth it because it costs you the experience points on your ruler. You, like, this isn't about the strength calculation, it's that you really do need to get your hero, your ruler especially, as strong as you can, as quickly as you can. Yeah. Oh. Okay, actually, what can we build in Yasak Vol? We're gonna pick up one more pop. We might genuinely just raw build Town Hall 3. Is that really where we are? Because we're already on almost population 9, in which case I guess we'll build a granary. Because that means we are actually gonna get to pop 10. But this is also like not what you want to be you don't want to grow into your Town Hall 3 and then just build it if you can get any cash at all anywhere. We just got crazy amounts of food from the layer of silk that's enabling this. And we do at least have the gold there. Let's see, actually. Let's move you guys here. Yeah, actually, genuinely at that scout that you have, oh. Yeah. He's got yeah, exactly. He could have 2 stacks of individuals, but he's got 2 stacks of some kind. Yeah. I assume. Wait a second. Were they?
And with no
Now
walls,
now
you
they
can
are
take it
unpaused.
immediately, so
Good,
you
good,
can't
good,
risk going after your scout.
So
with
now
much.
we're just having an argument about like how to handle Oracle, because this is going to be a really important piece for both teams. Where now Gian has successfully moved into Nemke's territory, and now it's a question of can he push him back.
I'd be missing my other half of my army though, so I don't.
You should not attack into Oracle with 6 when you could have 10 in 1 extra turn.
Yeah.
That's like, unless you know that there's nobody there, that's bad risk management.
Well, I was trying
not
to
recovering right now.
Yeah, he's not recovering
recovering.
because
Yeah.
it's hostile territory still.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it needs 4 turns for Oracle to not being hostile. So anyone who's badly injured in that area is going to have some serious problems healing.
You should
Unless he has
almost,
mass rejuve.
If you haven't passed your turn, Garacian, you could do a little check north just to see if. Well, how far is sensing range though? I was gonna say you could just
It's
see if
a
anything is
little
coming
bit
to reinforce.
further than vision, but only a little.
I don't see anything else over here.
I think
Yeah,
you
unclear.
probably take that fight when you have that 4 stack as well as the 6 stack here.
Your scout.
Who?
No, I'm just kidding.
You move your staff. You
Hey.
Oh, it's 4. It's like 4 o'clock, guys. I think I think that's what you guys are over here to mumble at me about, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, actually, it's well, yes
no,
and.
wait.
Yes, and. Good.
Yes, and
Zombie
yes.
lost power. You just
Oh
lost
no.
power.
Okay. Well, we got to where we said we were going to get to anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
this-
underground, the
and
mine tracks
this
are
is
exactly
actually
roads,
because,
basically.
Time for us to wrap the stream, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have enough internet to talk to you in Discord, but not enough that my game don't see active games. It's just
For
don't
sure.
see
Oh
That's
jeez.
games.
Okay.
At least
Well,
it's
I'm
happening
happy pausing
when we're
here. I
supposed
think
to
we made
stop.
good progress,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, we're turn 21.
we're turn
We got it,
21
like,
and
10
we
more
missed.
turns than last time.
Yeah. Well, we also
Yeah.
like we missed an hour, right? Because of just like setting it up,
Yeah,
and
we
we still
did.
made pretty good progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel good about this session
Yeah.
in general. I'm excited to see what happens with the next one.
If you guys don't win this, then I'll be astonished because our map spawn was so weird. But like, I think that there's gonna be really good tools on both sides, regardless. Like,
Yeah.
Nemke, actually, you got some really good. You got some heroes going, man. You got some good stuff.
We'll see.
Now, what is
I think you got
Garacian? Like,
Where's
I-
Garacian?
yeah, we're Garacian just hidden
This
from
is
us.
why
Right
is
behind
why
you.
the map spawning is Garacian's on like the absolute edge of the universe. Garacian spawned in Antarctica. It's insane how far away he is from
That's
everybody.
perfect.
I still haven't even
that's a
found
good
my
start.
allies.
That's a good start in free for all. That's very different here.
Wait, are we in the same game?
I think we basically are almost.
At this point, yeah.
Finally, on
Nah,
turn 21, now we're in the same game.
I got some interesting stuff that I want to showcase in some fights soon. So
Yeah, we'll get him.
be prepared.
We'll get him. All right. Well, I guess for now that's
man.
that's
Well, it was
that's the
fun
rest of our
playing,
stream.
everybody.
And I
Yeah,
will see
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
I'm gonna
soon,
end my
maybe
stream. Goodbye,
tomorrow,
everybody.
depending
Goodbye,
on
take it easy,
if we want to
Matt.
do manuals or not.
Probably just gonna
We'll
talk
just
a
kind of like
little bit.
play it by ear.
Yeah, yeah.